Hey, Dan, what'd you do this weekend?
I went to the DZ GSE.
You were able to do that because you were not at a car dealership spending all weekend in the heat leasing a vehicle. You can do that from the comfort of your own home. In fact, you could have done it at the DZ GSE with Fair Lease. They were one of our presenting sponsors at the Dumb Zone Generic Summer Event. Thank you to the boys over there. Fairlease.org. You can see it at their website. Well, that is the website, dummy. But you can click, how did you hear about us? You can select the Dumb Zone and get yourself a quote. They'll give you trade-in value. They'll deliver the vehicle right to you. That's solid right there, guys. That's Fair Lease, and their website is fairlease.org.
All right.
Are you being sarcastic?
What? Me? Who?
The music was just jumping crazy, and I thought y'all were doing passive-aggressive stuff.
No. What do you mean? No, I think we haven't been here in the den high atop my garage in quite some time, so we're just kind of recalibrating everything.
That's nice. That's
Good?
like a... Didn't you always think that was kind of the... We always talk about it with divorce, but even a little separation maybe? Just feeling it out next time?
Yeah, Blake asked me this morning if I'm happy that we're here. I didn't have to travel downtown. And I had mixed feelings. Like, yes, kind of, but... You know, the wife's home for summer vacation.
And I felt a little bit of a vibe shift in here.
Like, leaving the house is okay.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, Saturday night was great, and you know me, I don't like going out. I don't like doing anything. I don't want to do anything, ever. But I had a great time. We had nacho. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, not driving downtown. I don't know, I'm a routine guy, as you well know. So I get into the routine of, okay, we got to be ready by this time. All right, we drive downtown by this. And now I'm out of that routine. So what do I do? So we just, had made passionate love this morning in that extra, since I had an extra half hour. What was it, 6, 7 times? How many times did we do it? I can't recall.
That's just one for me, but I just edge for 29 minutes and take care of her.
That's the way you are.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So, hello, everybody. It's Monday. I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kibb.
I'm Blake Jones.
This is the Dumb Zone. We are high atop my garage.
I think it's nice.
Not at our downtown Dallas spot.
I'm a routine type, but I think I like the switch up from day to day. I think that's what's great about salespeople. I learned this when we started having Business Wednesday, but the fact you can go get your car washed while you're working or get your oil changed, things of this nature, I like that. It's nice.
On today's program, we have a sit-in. Wait, I didn't get the off-air talk. Does he not want to speak? What are we doing here?
He seems chill about it.
I'm fine either way.
Oh, there he is. His name is Eric. Are you promoting your last name?
Bogue.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was like McFarlane.
Yeah, we were unsure.
On ESPN. Boog.
Oh, yeah.
It's spelled Boog.
He said that like we're the first ones who have ever said that to him.
Oh, no. It's
like,
constant.
Oh, yeah, okay. B-O-O-G. You saw Boog.
Yeah, but are you a community mechanical?
I am.
Oh, our
Yep.
first. Is this community mechanical cherry, Blake?
I think it is.
Is that why he's a little nervous?
I think I am the first. We've been trying to get this scheduled for several months now.
Now, I see you're barefoot.
I am. I wore flip-flops.
Would you... Should I just suspend the don't wear shoes up here thing?
No, we've made it way too far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
like
have
it.
socks that sponsors have given us. Would you like to wear a pair of...
I could wear socks.
Yoke
I
Hero
like socks,
or-
especially if it makes you more comfortable.
No, it doesn't. Whatever you want.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't mind.
You're nervously looking at my
gorgeous
feet,
feet.
so I wasn't sure if it was making you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot Nate is in because he doesn't want people wearing shoes in the house, but then he's like, it's whatever you want.
Yeah.
So it's a tough, but I've done it one time. I came over here in flip-flops and it felt awful.
Yeah, it feels a little odd, I'll be honest with you. But I don't know
Raw
if the socks
dogging
would-
it. You got
Yeah.
nice feet over there,
Well,
big
thank
dog.
you for noticing.
I mean, I don't walk around my own house with bare feet. Generally, I'll wear socks. Is that wrong?
No, I don't know. I don't
I
think
know
I
where
have
my
a
feet have
consistent
been.
plan. You know, my mom was real big on like we don't go outside in our socks and walk back in.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big deal.
Oh,
but I think
yeah.
I even do that. I'm a wild man, dude.
Yeah, I'll do that. I will do that. But
Probably
the
not
shoes
great.
thing is that
Again,
I'm
there's
in
pee
a
everywhere. There's bug pee
I don't wanna hear it from you.
everywhere,
yeah.
You're drinking it.
and you're just walking around.
Eric, would you take a sip out of his water bottle over there?
I brought the famed
Yeah, I
water
don't
bottle.
have a problem with that.
Do you know what was in it last week?
Yes, I heard. Yeah.
His number one. And look at him just drinking it like, oh, yeah.
Sure we get
Like,
the
wouldn't you have
sound
a
of that.
PTSD memory with it when you pick it out? Like, oh, I know what was in here very recently.
Not only
Life,
that, but
nutrients.
every dish, every spoon, fork that was in that dishwasher.
Would you eat
I did
from a
Pro
bowl
Wash.
that I went number 2 in?
Had it been through your dishwasher?
Yeah.
Yes.
Quick cycle.
Oh, gotta be pro.
Okay.
I gotta get the pro.
Should we do a DZ GSE Q recap? The Q's for Qualis?
Sure.
Like just to say it was a positive situation. Very nice crowd. I think, I'm trying to think, we have to have meetings, and in fact, I think we're going to have a premium subscriber meeting I think we're targeting next Wednesday. Is next Wednesday the 10th? Juneteenth?
It's the day we've targeted.
Oh, okay. But I believe that's actually 3 months to the day after we had our last one, and it's called a quarterly meeting, so we got some math going on over here, bros.
Yeah, don't mention
That's
it.
3 months.
Hired
That's
a couple of
quarter.
quants.
Yeah. But just want to have kind of a meeting on, what went well, what can we do better next time. I think the heat was really bad in the beginning, but then it felt great, as the night went on.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's my assessment of that. I really love that location, the local shacks at Austin Ranch. And one of the reasons I really loved it is look at all this parking. Parking for day. There's tons of parking. That won't be a problem. Well, it turns out that we got enough people there that they were parking across the street and in the grass and all that kind of stuff. But anyone who told me that told me it with with glee. They were like, hey,
Yeah.
this is great. I had to park across the street, and I thought they'd be mad. But they were happy. It's kind of like no one – I feel like everyone who listens to us thinks they're the only ones who listen. And I think maybe they're more happy now that they know other people – because a lot of people are like, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm like, what do you mean? They didn't think, you ever do that maybe to your kid or your mom might do that to you. I'm really proud of you for, not drinking for a whole day. And it's like, what do you, that's not that big of I don't know.
No, I know
There
what
are
you
a
mean.
lot bigger things in the world than the DZ GSE, but it went well for us. And I don't know.
I'm very, very pleased. It was super cool. People were very kind. They did sell out of Lone Star pretty quickly, despite my
I believe Jerry ran to the store
he did.
a couple times.
Shout out to Jerry at the local shacks at Austin Ranch. He was super, super cordial. He was pleased with how everything went. And the bartenders, because I stayed late and closed up our tabs, and the bartenders were like, man, everybody was so cool. Everybody was patient, because we were getting hammered up here. They were not.
They ran out of pizza too because I tried getting pizza later.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
I never. It turns out yogurt at Eatsy's was my dinner at 2:00, but that's fine.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think it spoke well for us. I don't know if this show is good, but I know that the people who are into it are really, really fun to have a good time with, and there's a decent number of them. So
It was.
I don't know.
It was a lot of
I had a
fun.
glow about me for 24. Probably still now.
Yeah, I'm so
Oh,
happy
great.
we did it. I'm so happy. That might have been your idea originally. Jake's had a good idea, folks. Don't think that he hasn't. But
I don't know. I like that we can do something like that, and everybody just gets together, and it's a good time, and sponsors are all happy.
And then there was people saying, even some listeners were like, you should charge for parking. You should charge to get in. You should. And I don't think we should.
No.
That's one thing I'll say here. I don't think we should add on. I think a free event is a cool bit.
Yeah, we sell sponsorships so that we can pay for the necessities and the band and the talent and
Maybe
Blake's
next year
writer.
Maybe next year we'll be in the black on that.
We're not. Yeah.
We're a little in the red.
Yeah, but again, we wanted to. That wasn't the point, And
it's the long play.
I felt very, very fulfilled, very grateful.
You have any thoughts on this whole thing, Blake, or you just don't care?
I echo everything you guys are saying. What do you want me to pile on? Good to see everybody.
Wow.
The stream went smooth, which was my main concern, and so Clayton and I are happy with how things went on that end.
Okay, yeah, Clayton was great. All the people helping us out were great. I don't know. You start to thank people, and then you don't get them all. So, all of you, we'll thank you in that special way. I don't know what that means either.
Gift cards.
Gift cards and good vibes. We'll throw those your way.
We are overflowing
with good vibes. But thanks certainly to Qualis Roofing for being the title sponsor. Community. It may have been the Lone Star once they had a few, but they were whispering in my ear about getting in a bidding war with Qualis next year for title sponsorship. And I said, "Oh no, don't do that,
dude."
And
these guys have a good year. They're warring with each other for title sponsorship. We could get Carrot Top. Or bigger. Who knows, dude?
Do we get, some internet guests? Do we get Letarian next year?
I feel like, and this is no shade at all of the work we put into this weekend, and maybe this is just that I've learned from Dan. Maybe this is also presumptuous, but I feel like I came out of there like, I cannot wait to do this next year. On all day yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we could.
But how do we can we improve it? I think we should be able to. But yeah, is that meaning...
I think it starts with Shovel Girl.
Shovel Girl.
She's available.
All these people that were famous 10 years ago and that we can now afford.
Right.
Maybe
Baker Head Girl.
Baker Head Girl. Well, could you imagine?
The first guest that Blake ever tried to book in his radio career.
Could we fly her out, get her a hotel nearby?
Get her a jewel.
Mm-hmm.
Get her. Oh my gosh.
Well, it was awesome, man, and I hope we get to do a bunch of them. It was fun to do the parody song thing. Like, I have a desire, a little, moonlighting desire to still do that once a year if I can. I don't know that there'll always be an opportunity to force it in, but I miss doing that.
Those bands are great, and I seriously don't like to go to things with live music. I don't care. So it's odd for us to schedule a thing with live music. I don't like to be outside. And we schedule a thing outside with live music. But
yeah.
I thought it was on when they were on. First of all, I liked them. This is not music that I don't like. Love the one that I could recognize from Grady that the girls had ripped, but I think it's actually a good song. Prophets and Outlaws are really effing good, man. They're up for bits too.
Yeah.
They were quick to tell me at the end, like, hey, man, you want more stuff next year? You want to do some bits? We are ready to roll.
They want to have us back out at the studio, which we did last year, which we're in. But yeah, they're assassins, dude. Those guys are such professionals. It's insane. Insane. We ran through the Team America thing once earlier in the day. I don't know. Maybe it's because we know them, but I felt more comfortable with them. I was always really intimidated by petty theft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Those guys were
They didn't have time for you.
They just seemed. I mean, they were old, frankly. And but shout out to Grady. Those guys were awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
had a lot of time to myself on Sunday morning because that is one thing in the post booze game. Wife's gonna sleep till 10. So if you've got the kids not coming home until 10 or so. Plenty of me time. Nobody's asking me. She's hungover.
Oh, okay. Wife was there.
Yeah, she came to the event.
Nice.
My buddy who was there with her got a picture with all-pro kicker Brandon Aubrey.
I forgot. Brandon Aubrey stopped by with his family. He was there with his wife and her parents, and that's the conduit. That's how we ever got to know Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah.
And, yeah, stopped by, gave us a jersey, an autographed jersey, and we're going to hang that in the studio.
It's very cool, man.
I thought Clayton said no.
Oh, Clayton doesn't want that hung up in the studio?
No.
Well, we'll and then I did talk to him. We talked last night about, popping him on the show this week. He said they have mini camp all week, and his schedule's pretty tight.
Let's go.
He's wide open next week, and I said, okay, let's
Yeah, because right now,
we'll push it forward.
if he has 15 extra minutes, I want him over there on those tables with someone from the defense. So he's getting to know him a little bit, building chemistry, maybe a little airsoft paintball. Dude, I have Cowboys for you guys today.
Okay, let's get to that in sports, but I don't know how much else of a weekend check that you have. But
I felt like I got hit by a truck yesterday. How about that? How about it's not just alcohol that makes you, when you have like a big event type thing. I was exhausted yesterday.
So heroin can also make you feel that way is what you're saying.
That's right. Didn't do much.
You didn't do much yesterday?
Watched the Rangers. Get a little bullpen game. Huh?
Okay. I don't even know what you mean. So, but this will be quick recap from my weekend. It'll be brought to us by Community Mechanical. They were a presenting sponsor. They have given us a sit-in this afternoon as well. And they're our HVAC company. And you don't want to be sitting around like in a couple weeks and going, shit.
I should have done something.
I should have called.
Yeah,
just call to set up the preventative maintenance thing at the very least. If you need a whole new unit and all that kind of stuff, that'd be awesome. If you're a business, they can set you up as well. They're great with the commercial stuff, but the grid, bro. The grid's messed up. I don't understand it, but it's going to fail. And then when it does, and your stuff fails, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, was it? Yes, because you didn't call Community Mechanical. It's going to be a hot summer.
And that phone number is
now.
469-667-7290. 469-667-7290. CommunityDFW.com. As Boog is evidence here. If you get yourself a new system, they'll get you a 690 sit-in. Of course, tell them you heard about it on the Dumb Zone. That is CommunityDFW.com. What you got, player?
So I have a tiny wiener and a tiny little story.
Thanks for keeping Wiener alive, bud.
No one else is doing wiener?
I feel like the last 45 times I've heard it, it was from you after it's set for a second. So just want to say shout out.
So I was wondering a few things. Okay, so yesterday I did have to go salmon shopping for the week. Salmon, rice, and broccoli, although Blake did see this morning that I am very versatile. What did I eat this morning?
Salmon, rice, and green beans.
See?
Green beans. How did they know? They don't fall into the asparagus category for you?
Oh, no, I'm very pro green bean.
Well, I just mean on the reheat. Because
I'm
trying to find my
This
lane.
was just fresh green beans.
Okay.
You're right. The next day, they would be so mushy. And
yeah. I've settled on peppers and broccoli. The only things I can reheat.
I did buy the broccoli but I was still eating the trucker and Matt Grimm. The trucker made me some meals the other day, and I had run out of broccoli, so I used green beans. Anyway, the point is I had to go to the grocery store. I go to Central Market. And I park kind of far away because I bake that in I just want to get extra. This is my extra. I don't exercise. I don't do a lot. So if I park the farthest away I can from the door, I can walk all that way, and then I got to walk all that way back, and that's my exercise for the day.
Love it.
So I'm walking back. I'm walking there, and I see a nice-looking lady is hopping in her car, and we always enjoy that. Partly milfy around the, Central Market, of course. And she's starting to back out, and I see the cart that was in front of the car. So number one, she's doing what many people do, and I want to combat But she is leaving her cart. I'm thinking, okay, well, whatever. At least it's not in the parking spot. And then I see, let's see, what was it? I see something still in that cart, but on the bottom, like somebody forgot to take it out. And it was nothing big, but it was coconut water. So a big case of coconut water is in the bottom. And so I see that, and I'm actually on the phone at the time, but I am getting into action mode to be a hero. Would I have done it if it was a different person? I don't know. But it was kind of a nice-looking little lady, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna help here. And I said, oh, I got to go right now. I'll call you back later. And I go, hey. And so I'm waving at her. I'm standing in front of her car waving at her as she's starting to pull out, and she stops. And I go, hey. And she looks at me as if I was in New York City and I had a squeegee and a bucket and I was like, I wanted a tip. She's like, looks at me with disdain and then doesn't really mouth anything or shake her head or anything. She just keeps pulling out. And I go, oh, no. And then I kind of run up to the side of her car. I'm like, hey.
You look like a psycho.
Roll it down. And whatever.
You're white.
I'm
about
white,
to get tased.
but I'm also
He's also not Tom Brady.
I am a creep, but do I look creepy? Because in my head, I'm like, I know I'm a creep. I am. But am I giving that? Do I give creep? I don't know. Possibly I do. But I'm next to her. I'm like, roll it down. And she's like, shaking her head. I'm like, wait, what do you mean?
That's my water now then.
Not even an inch? And I go, no. Like, I don't know if you think I'm guy walking through parking lot trying to sell stuff, but I point to the cart. And now
you know what she thinks? She thinks you're mad that she didn't put it up.
I don't know, but then I go,
what kind of car?
Huh? It was like an SUV, nice SUV. I don't know.
Okay.
Then I'm like, no, there's something in the cart. Is that yours? Like, and she just pulls out and takes off. And then I did this move that I am not proud of at all. And I didn't really do anything. But so I'm incredulous. I go, you won't even roll down the window. Like I'm yelling at her as she's driving away. Like, and I feel like Larry David. I'm like, you wouldn't even, like, what are we doing?
Also, very busy parking lot.
Am I this scary? What is going on? I'm incredulous that, what is she doing? Like, wouldn't even, like, roll down a half inch just to say, oh, no, that's not mine, or any cordial part of human society. She's just running away as if it's a dark alley and it's the evening, whatever. And then I kind of, as she drove away, because I was holding my phone, I was talking to somebody and I said, I got to go. So then as she's driving away, and because now this time I'm in the road with her, because I was like, roll down your window, like, talk to me. No. And so I held it up. And, like, as if I was taking a picture of her license plate.
For what?
I don't know.
Like, what's the threat
I don't know,
there?
but then
You want to scare her a little bit.
But I knew I was doing it
I see you.
because that would be, for this person for sure, she would be very annoyed at me doing that.
Yeah.
But then I thought later, that's really weird what I just did there. I should not have done that. But I defend my actions up to yelling at her and, like, why won't you you wouldn't even roll down the window. Like, I'm incredulous.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm with you all the way. Yeah.
Even the fake picture?
I would have done the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing about it, though, is that lady is laughing at the idea that he knows someone that he could get that license plate to that can
And then
mess
what
with
am I
her.
going to do?
That lady
Let's
knows
say I
she's
do.
impervious. Oh, who are you going to call? The city? I am the city. You can call the cops? I'm the cops, too. You're going to call the state? Oh, I know Greg Abbott. Trust me, she does. That lady hasn't had to deal with anybody giving her static that didn't, again, look like Tom Brady in a long time.
She just seems a little
Or
too
that doesn't
high and
work
mighty.
for her.
You might want to bring her down a notch.
Oh.
You don't know
will
what I
get
could do with this
no
picture.
pushback from me. Listen, you're talking to a guy who 20 years ago, I was sneaking into that lady's backyard at 2 o'clock in the morning and super gluing a red sticker over her dragon on her Sewell Lexus. And I was doing that dozens and dozens and dozens of times over and over. And then the rest of the world caught up.
Did you take the water at least?
No, I don't like coconut water.
I don't really
What about for me?
I don't really know what we're doing with it. It feels like it kind of had a big moment in the Hangover game, but then Pedialyte sort of boxed it out.
Oh, I thought it was still great.
Is it a?
Are you upset? Would you have taken it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll drink it, but I kind of
Immediately.
don't know
And-
the point.
And probably a lot quicker than. As soon as she gave me a disgusting look, birds, my water.
Blake just does the.
F
It's
you.
just stone cold with two
Well-
cores, smashes them together and starts pouring.
You
it on
tried
it.
to be a nice person, and immediately you got shot down.
But
so this is my reward.
I'm even
This is my
thinking maybe
coconut
that's
water.
not her water, though. Maybe it's not her cart.
Okay,
I
but it
didn't
doesn't
see that
matter.
part.
It doesn't matter. She doesn't know. She just knows you're trying to get her attention. And this is why when people get in pissing matches about like the shopping carts being left out there thing, this is why. It's because it's representative of other behavior. The type of person who's just going to leave a cart in the spot, thereby rendering that useless, is also just like, "Ugh, get away from me, cretin, you plebe."
I really hope you see her again.
I don't know if I'd recognize her.
They do all look the same.
Yeah, she's just
Perfect.
general.
See the
yeah,
same car.
Looks like she hosted
same
the
time.
7A on
general
Fox
nice,
News.
nice looking. Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
no, that's tough.
I'm
I mean,
a friendly guy.
listen, I feel like there may be some real estate in us investigating the fight at the grocery store we heard about during Saturday night's summer event. Because a guy that I met outside of my daughter's elementary, he has a grandchild there. He was at the summer event Saturday night and had a cast on his hand. And Jimmy's like, "What happened to you?" And he's like, "Oh, I got in a fight with another guy in front of Tom Thumb. He was 60. I'm 49." And like my wife was there and like, "I've seen that guy at school. Like that's a dad." And I'm like, "He's a
a
granddad."
fight that
Yeah, they say.
resulted in a broken arm.
And a ticket. He showed me. I was like, "What happened?" You know what? No, don't tell me. I was like, "We'll get back to you."
Would you tell people if that happened to you?
Absolutely not. You'd have to hide while you had the cast. You'd have to.
Or come up with a different way you got it?
How?
Saving somebody from
Like
something.
with a cut or something, you can lie, but that's a tough one. Didn't hold him back from attending.
All right, well, anybody else got anything great to add to weekend? Or
I saw the storms blowing in yesterday, so I got the front yard and backyard mowed.
That's run the ball guy
And
right
then
there.
as it was raining, I told my wife, "Glad I mowed today."
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, that feels so good, too.
It does.
I'm deprived
I
of
could
that.
turn my sprinkler system off, don't water tonight, and I could save that $2.78 it would have cost me.
Absolutely.
But it felt good. Saw the new Lilo and Stitch movie. Obviously, I took my 3-year-old. I didn't just go by myself. But they're now taking animated movies and whatever you would call that,
Living
but animating.
Yeah, live action. It's like what we were talking about with How to Train Your Dragon. Comes out
Yeah.
this week. My
Yeah.
wife and kid went to go see Lilo and Stitch last week as well.
The cartoon was better. They had to
Kind of
change
like what
some
they did
things
with
up.
Lion King, Dan. You
Yeah.
know the bit.
Yeah.
But why? Why this new wave of doing that?
I don't know, but it does seem like there's a lot of them right now. I was not familiar with the Lilo and Stitch cartoons, or the lore at all. But my wife, who was I think not familiar with it, also came back and was like, "It's just every movie." I said, "What?" She said, "Dead parents."
Oh
It's
yeah.
every movie. And then we were watching something else. Something else over the weekend. It really is an ever-present theme in your kid movies.
That's interesting. Nemo, dead mom.
Mm-hmm.
Frozen's dead parents.
We've talked before about the 80s and 90s.
Divorced parents were a big player.
Mid 80s to mid 90s, I think, yeah.
Yeah. But there's a whole...
Because that was kind of a new thing in America, and let's help
Well,
everybody make sense of all this.
I mean, yeah, I'm a Hollywood producer. I'm divorced.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. Let's have Robin Williams be divorced and dress as a woman.
yeah. I wonder what the dead parent thing is.
I don't know,
Why
but
that
there's a
trend?
lot. It's an easy story to tell, too. It's like a
Just you need some
mythology type.
downfall-y.
But there's
something
lot
bad's
of them,
going on.
Side note, this is probably a gummy thought, but I think I thought sewers were going to be a bigger deal when I was older. I was watching Ratatouille with the girl last weekend, and there's a lot going on in these rat in Paris sewer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sewers were in movies a lot. Obviously, the turtles lived there, but I think I was just worried that there was a lot more going on underground when I was a kid than it turned out there was.
Didn't Stuart Little get into a sewer?
It seemed like it was all the time.
What's the one with Roddy? He's a rat. You guys watch that kid movie?
No. I love a rat movie, though.
With, Flushed Away. Great movie. Great kid movie.
Oh, this looks cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Watch it. Watch it!
I'll watch it. Yeah, I will.
God,
I'll
why are you
watch
guys
it.
against me?
How'd you like the film?
It
You
was
just
good.
think the animated's better?
The animated story is definitely better. I don't know why they had to change some elements of it. I guess just to hide the aliens or something. I don't know.
Didn't Stitch change his name to Steve?
Yeah, and
So they could update it a little bit?
Sure.
Dan's
but
distracted.
we were in a theater.
That was a good trans joke, and he didn't even smile.
fine.
I'm sorry about Stitch and Steve. I'm trying to ask my mom. She had told me yesterday she saw a movie with Rose the day before, and I'm trying to check which one it is. 'Cause
I guarantee you it wasn't that.
they saw Top Gun last week.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Again?
Not Top Gun. What's the new Tom Cruise thing?
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
They did that last
Okay.
week. A plus according
what
to
I've
my
heard.
mom. I've read reviews that say it's dog shit, but her and Rose loved it. And
TC liked it.
okay,
But Lilo and Stitch, I've heard, is a really cool story.
It's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, the Disney animated one was way better. But we were in a theater that tries to cater to the kids, and so there's like a play area in the front, and there's like a playground along the side.
I'm not familiar with this.
It's over in Wiley, and it's when you buy your tickets, you can buy. It's called like Screenplay, I think. Where, so we walked in a little late because apparently during kids movies they don't show previews because for a 6:30 movie I feel comfortable walking in at 6:45, just to avoid all the nonsense up front. But we walked in during the movie. But it was completely dark, so I didn't know if the kids area was just before the movie and maybe after. But Brooks asked to go play on it, and I said no because it was dark, and he would have been the only one in there.
and
So,
you're
I
at a
don't know.
kids movie.
That's
That
weird.
doesn't
I know,
make
and
sense.
I thought they
Like,
would
if you're
just
at,
keep a light on over there, let the kid do their thing.
but
I
if
don't-
it's a kid movie,
think they would
should
sit there
they
and
not
watch?
have a kids area to go play?
Well,
and
isn't
not
the
watch
point?
the
Isn't the
movie?
point of not having the trailers in there that they won't pay attention? So you're eliminating it. Well, then don't throw this other stuff on there.
Yeah.
Just make it. Just come sit down and watch the movie.
Well,
That's your best chance.
but an hour and a half is a lot to
It is.
ask. And so about 50 minutes in, he was starting to look around like, what is that? And I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable letting him go over there.
No, that's a big ask. I'm surprised you even take that dive.
To even go into that theater?
Yeah, any theater. I'm not doing that.
It was a good time.
All right.
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
New sponsor here, which is actually an old sponsor to tell you the truth, the Constellation Club, because we had our Christmas party. We call it Christmas around here. We had our Christmas party there last December, and we're going to do a show there Friday, June 20th. So 1 week from Friday. An afternoon show, 3 to 6 p.m., a live broadcast at the Constellation Club in Las Colinas, high atop the towers at Williams Square. And they're going to have bits out there like $2 wings, $2 tamales, and $1 drafts. You can admission will be free. Go to eventbrite.com, search the Dumb Zone, and you could join us out there. And they're also doing a 2-day event featuring Christmas in July at the Constellation Club and Hackberry Creek Country Club. So they want you to get involved with that by calling them at 972-869-2266 for full details and to register.
We'll be there next Friday. 3 to 6, the rare afternoon show.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Jared here in 10 minutes, you tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see then. Do you want to get
We could either do Cowboys or you want to do some basketball real quick?
Yeah, hit me with a little basketball.
Okay. Because, of course, the series is now tied up at 1 apiece. I'd really like to see a long series. I'd love to see Indiana win this whole thing.
You said that you took value in Game 1, right?
Yeah.
Pacers?
And I forgot yesterday to do anything.
Okay, because it seemed like it was going to right the ship, and it did in a big way. Like
Yeah.
The Thunder should have been minus 2,500, it seemed like.
But I wanted to focus on what happened before the game, which is a Don Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award, the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award, was given to Don Nelson.
Can we ask if lifetime achievement's a bad bit? What does it mean?
It is odd. So I listened to his whole press conference. It was like 20 minutes long. It was good to hear him.
Yeah.
He's incredibly old now, but still sounds like he's got his head about him. And he was saying, this is a very important award to me. I was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2012, but this one means just as much. And yeah, if you've already been in the Hall of Fame, that's what that is. That is not a 1 year you were really good and you got in the Hall of Fame. It is for your entire body of work. So that is a Lifetime Achievement Award. So, yeah, this is probably...
Just seems weird.
We might be over-awarded there. Like, we've already given you the highest honor ever, and now this is...
At the same time, we do talk about how sometimes it's a bummer that when you're old, nobody says all the nice things about you that you'd like to have said until you die. And, you'll hear of people are like, I'm going to have a living funeral type thing. So whatever, I guess it's an excuse to sit around and say nice things about a guy who meant a lot to people. It just seems very random. Well, I'll put it to you like this. On Tuesday, I wasn't sitting there going, I wonder who's going to win the 2025 Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award. You know what I mean?
Yes. You're wondering about the MVP. You're wondering about this or that. But, okay, so let's see his first thing that I wanted to play for you, because he's got a couple of really good things in here. I'm sorry. Here we go. Oh, first off, let me play you. Rick Carlisle was sitting next to him. So they had, like, the guy from the whatever. And
the
then,
Coaches Association?
Yeah, then they had, I think Rick Carlisle might even be the current president of the Coaches Association. And Nelly is up there in the middle. And Rick wanted to give a shout-out to somebody who was in the crowd.
If I could mention a couple other people here, Nelly's son Donnie is here. Donnie, I had the pleasure of working for Donnie for 13 years in Dallas. He has the distinction of a lot of great drafts, but he drafted Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson in the same draft. And great that you could be here.
Like, obviously, I guess they were already kind of talking a little Dirk, so we already knew the Dirk thing. But what a nice little piece of shade to throw the Mavs' way, of course, right now.
Oh, yeah.
As, hey, by the way, this is the guy that, like, 2 of the 5 or whatever best players in the NBA right now. He drafted them both for this team, the Mavs. They're not there anymore, are they? Okay. But this guy is. Oh, they also got rid of this guy. Okay.
I can assure you that Rick has a very negative opinion of Nico Harrison. I can promise you that.
Yeah. But I also wanted to bring this piece of audio up because where's Donnie Nelson been?
Dude, it seems like every 3 or 4 months we'll ask that question. There was the lawsuit. There was the let me see if I can try to one-shot this Mad Lib. Cuban accused him of trying to use his gay nephew to honeypot another guy that worked there, and he ended up sexually assaulting him. Cuban said it was blackmail. Donnie was like, no, he sexually assaulted my gay nephew. You owe me $1 billion. Cuban said, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the last we heard about it. Didn't it just end? But publicly, as far as like doing media or anything like that, not a word.
Someone has recently sent me, like, he does have a website and like a speaking fee and stuff. Like, could we just get around it with that and have him
next year's generic summer event?
Dude, I mean,
Bring
that
Donnie
is Junior Miller's bit, but it is a good bit.
What's
just
that?
all year, like they'll mention anything. It's just take it stock. Like next year's
Has
generic summer event.
he said that about speaking fee things before?
Just anything like, yeah, a guy who comes up.
Oh.
Like, yeah, but yeah, let's get Mavs Man for $500. Let's get Donnie.
We could absolutely get Mavs Man.
Computer.
Want to get Rowdy?
Options.
What does Rowdy cost to rent?
Options are limitless.
If we just had Rowdy walking out. And we had Bluey.
We did have Bluey.
Bluey was a big hit.
Okay, so this is the meat. Because he's going to mention the fact Mark Stein had reported this earlier, that he was going to honor Luka by wearing the newest Luka shoes. And so they're talking about Dirk and just they're going into great detail about early Dirk and how great it was that they knew who this guy was, but the rest of the league didn't, and they were just trying to hide him. And he's talking about how he didn't want him to go to San Antonio to play in a tournament because then he thought everybody would know about him and all this kind of stuff. So they're in the middle of talking about that, but they're gonna do the weave, and they're gonna get to Luka.
Anyway, we stuck with him, and then we got Nash in a trade, and then history can answer the rest of it for sure.
My recollection on all that was that these guys got everybody to believe that even if they drafted Dirk, he wasn't going to come over for 2 or 3 years. And so a lot of people passed on him, and they made it happen. And the results were historic.
What a player! Huh? What a human being! I'm so proud of him, and Luka too, my dear friend. As a matter of fact, I want everybody to know I'm wearing Luka's shoes, his new shoes from Nike. They just got on the market, and I'm wearing them in protest for the trade from Dallas. I think it was a tremendous mistake by the Dallas franchise to trade him, and I want everybody to know that because I learned from the best.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's kind of like the clip that's going around. That just out of nowhere, he just throws in this. By the way, trading Luka, bad bit. Why did you do
a
it?
hearty Carlisle laugh too.
It was a great Carlisle laugh, but it's such just an old grandpa thing, you know. Like I think it's in a Bill Burr bit, but you're just talking. He's like, and another thing, like your grandpa's.
Like,
I'm gonna get my shots off here. No one asked.
Yeah, no one's gonna have me up at a press conference
right.
again.
By the way,
had they asked me months ago, I would have said this, but since I've been saving. It's closing remarks, guys. It's like I've been keeping notes.
right.
Remember when you said this in March? Okay, so
Idiot.
but he's going to go on about it a little bit, and this isn't in the tiny viral clip. And I thought this is all good stuff.
And I want everybody to know that because I learned from the best. I played a year for Red Auerbach. I played under him for Tommy Heinsohn and Bill Russell. And I had the opportunity on my way, because I always went to the games early, to sit and talk with Red, philosophy. And his philosophy was when you have a great player, Bill Russell, Havlicek, Sam Jones, you name them, you never lose that player. You keep him for a lifetime. You put his number up, and you honor that player. And that's been my philosophy. If you look at the players that I've had over the years, Dirk and Moncrief and all the rest of them that I've coached, Nash, it was an exception because we were supposed to sign him and didn't. Probably destroyed my relationship with Mark Cuban at the time because I was promised that we were going to sign Nash. I thought we would be winning titles there for a few years. I thought we'd had a chance to win 3 or 4 titles in a row. But losing Nash set us back a little bit. But anyway, my philosophy was always to honor the great players, not trade them away, but to add pieces to that player and make him and your franchise the best that it could be. So anyway, Next question.
Jeez.
Get on with it.
So,
all right, Grandpa.
yeah, it stings. Like, and really, that's interesting that he said that was my philosophy. It's kind of the philosophy of like everybody.
Yep.
Everybody ever, because
Generally considered a law like gravity. He's like, I see things a little different. I just try to hold on to franchise cornerstones.
yeah, when I get a great player, I
don't have all the answers. Yeah, it's never going to feel better. I'm interested to see what next season is like, man, like how we're all feeling come October. Because I think so. I'm going to write a kid article this week, and let me know when we have Jared.
Okay.
Okay. He's not going to the Knicks, but just the fact that the Knicks are interested does kind of jolt you back to, the Mavs are a team. They still have a organization. They have a new franchise cornerstone. If you're still on board with the Mavs, you're probably thinking of it kind of like I'm at 0 right now. We're starting over. But Kid is there. You might want Nico gone, but you have to decide, like, do I want Kid here? Because Giannis, there's a lot of stories about Giannis and Kid not getting along. But Giannis credits Kid now. But I don't know, man. I mean, you didn't bring him in to coach Cooper Flag. You brought him in to coach superstars, veterans.
right.
Especially once Luka's gone. So that's an interesting choice they have to make here.
And look,
None of it really fits because none of it was supposed to happen.
Kirk Henderson wrote another article, and
I still have to read that.
a lot of it is similar. In fact, he sent it to me and said, look, a lot of this is stuff I've said before, but it still holds true. And it was great. And it's about, like, how is Nico still there? You can't, a guy that makes this monumental of a blunder, you can't keep him in charge of your franchise. You cannot let him be the guy to build around Cooper Flag. You cannot let his face be there making trades or attempting to sign free agents.
Yep.
Like, you're a joke across the league. Players think you're an idiot.
But they don't. If you don't view it as a blunder, then there's no blunder to correct. So
You think there's some way that Dumont thinks, you know what? I'm just going to ride with his vision. Like, I personally think the only way for Dumont to ever get me back, or guys like me who are never going back, or at least say that, is to get rid of Nico and fall on the sword yourself. Say, it is my fault that we did this. New to the game, business guy, trusted this guy. I got rid of him. And it's incredible that we got lucky with this lottery. And we just hope that we can win you back with our attention and caring about the fans. And maybe, you know what? Remember last year, we another ill-timed announcement? We're taking that back. There is no price increase on tickets this year. In fact, make it small, make it 5% or something. There's a price decrease. Like, let's do something to show that this is how much we care about you. Even that is very minimal. It doesn't really show anything, but it's a symbol. Symbolically, it would make people think, oh, really? Wow. Like, this guy, just to be able to say I was wrong, and I'm going to do anything I can to make it right for you. And there might still be some people that will never be back. I don't know if I'm going to be back, but it would go a long way to get me there. Like, right now, I'm not going to another game. I will not go to another. I might go to a Luka game.
Yeah, come on.
But why would I go to a game? I don't want to. I have no desire to go to one of their games at all. And I don't care if they're good. It's not about that. That was the whole point with the trade. It wasn't that, hey, I think this could make us a little bit better. I don't care. I don't care if this makes us a little bit better. Because this makes us not us anymore. Like, you built your whole everything on that. The Dirk statue is all about loyalty. And, like, we built this. This is our thing. The place that we could have a guy play for 20 years and then have another guy do that. And anyway.
How's Jared?
He says he needs just a minute. He's about to join.
Okay. Well, let's say Jared is going to be brought to us by Lucy then.
Ooh.
And that is the nicotine pouches, right?
It is. It is my preferred, my nicotine pouch. I am a subscriber. So I don't have to go order at lucy.co/dumbzone where you can. They send it to me every month. Promo code is lucy.co/dumbzone. Promo code is dumbzone. That gets you 20% off your first order. 100% pure nicotine. They taste good. They got the breakers, which is a nicotine pouch with a little flavor breaker in it. They got the gum. They've got the ones without the breakers. These are the best tasting pouches I've ever had, and I've sampled a bunch of them. It's just like with other products. There's the big mass-produced type. You know what I'm talking about. And then there's other ones that are made a little bit better. And that's what Lucy is. Lucy.co/dumbzone. Promo code's dumbzone. Get you 20% off your first order and free shipping. It's a 30-day refund policy. Get your day going nice. Maybe in the sauna. A little Lucy in the sauna.
Do you do that?
Every single day.
Really?
And if I seem happy, it's because my day either begins or ends with a Lucy in the sauna.
That enhances it, huh?
It does for me, unless that's illegal to say. Here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Yeah, I was all fired up for the fired up. I wanted to chill yesterday and watch the Rangers because I'd mostly cleared the day and was just kind of hanging out with the kids. You don't love the bullpen game, folks. Is there anything worse when you kind of like block out, like, today's a good day to watch the Rangers, and then you see Jay Latz and have to remind yourself that the Rangers have a middle reliever named Jacob Latz, and the next three pitchers are spares? That's no fun.
You think Nolan
Your
Ryan is
Sunday
rolling over in
baseball
his
game.
grave?
You know
Sees the
what?
bullpen game
I
schedule?
haven't kept up with, analytics trends in baseball like I used to, but I think it's come back a little bit, right? Weren't we seeing way more bullpen games like 5 years ago?
Yeah, because the Rays started
Tampa.
doing it.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, and everything was like they were trying these weird rotations, but it seems like it's gone back a little bit. But I don't know. I think like when I think about like Jack Leiter, for example, and the last couple times I've watched him, and it just seems like we've just completely changed what it means to be a starting pitcher to a point where when he gets to 5, I'm like, just go. Get out of the game.
Really?
Like after 5? Yes, because it just seems like it feels like, and it's been happening a lot over the past, he's had 2 or 3 blown ones late in the last few weeks, but it just seems like that's when things fall apart for him. It's when it falls apart for everybody, right? Third time?
Yeah.
It's just the third time for the order for the Rangers typically happens in the third inning.
I don't think Jared's going to appreciate
Mowing
that
people
comment.
down.
What's that? What comment am I not going to appreciate?
No comment. You're in. What's
No
up, man? How are
comment.
you?
Sorry for the delay, fellas. I was
Here's
trying
a
to get to
bear
a-
trap. Bear trap.
No, he's at the mall, it looks like.
No, I'm at the mall. I'm at the Mall of America. My wife is here. She's not going to just randomly drop it in like she did the other day. No bear trap.
Well, we were at a
No
doctor's
fertility
appointment.
conversations today.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
no fertility
Can you
conversations.
hold your phone the other way, horizontally? Is that possible? Am I asking too much? Thank you.
Sorry, Blake. Yeah, my bad.
Is Charlie Conway there?
Oh, I wish. Adam Banks, Charlie Conway. We get the whole team. I'm hoping to see the flying V here in a little bit.
It's a great scene.
Now, it
folks.
might be a bear trap, but you bring your wife on the road?
She comes some places. I mean, we're in a 3-city, nine game road trip. So, I mean, there's a little bit of a
Honey,
bear
I
trap
can't be
potential
without you
answer.
for 10 whole
But I'm
days
not
in a
gonna-
row. I can't be without you.
I think it's more the other way, Dan. I think it's more, I don't want to leave you. Okay, fine. Are the flights cheap enough? Yes. Okay, I'm using points. Like, she justifies it all. I'm using points. Well, that doesn't mean it's free. It just means that, like, we're rerouting the
Right, you
currency
could
that we're
use
using
those
to get you
points
here.
elsewhere.
I think that's what they mean
Yeah.
when they say girl math. Right?
Yeah, it's 100% girl math.
Because my wife will say that, and I'm like, I feel like I'm a dummy, but, we could use it for other stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's
that
free.
doesn't cost anything.
Points. Yep.
100%. Now she's not like, I mean, she'll tell you she likes baseball, but it's not like she's this diehard baseball fan, but she does want to try and see all 30 parks. And so she hasn't been to Target Field. So I think that was also another incentive to come here. And plus, an off day.
The story.
Yes, the history of Target Field.
No, it's not that. It's just going to see all 30 parks.
Oh yeah, I get the wife will be like, buy a $3,000 couch, but she saved $500 on it, and so
Yeah.
basically, then I have to hand her $500.
Yeah.
To,
This is my job where I
because-
earn money.
Yeah.
So I had a question. I tuned in Friday night, and I'd be lying if I told you I knew what was going on with the Nationals, but there was a big topic of conversation on the broadcast. I don't know how this was handled elsewhere, like radio and otherwise, but there was nobody there. It was like the third, almost fourth inning, and the park was empty. And there was a lot of people coming in, like in the third and fourth inning, and there was talk on the broadcast of like, what is this about? What is this? And whoever, forgive me for not knowing her name, she was on with Bassick and Dave Raymond, jumped on and was like, hey, I'm hearing there's a Natasha Bedingfield, what's her name?
Bedingfield, yeah.
Bedingfield concert after the game. So maybe the people are late arriving for that. And I'm like, man, I'm old, but is there somebody that's like Britney Spears popular that's going to fill out this baseball stadium on a Friday night? The whole thing was weird to me. Dave Raymond was like, okay.
Well, she might have been onto something because let me tell you, after the game, we, Mike, Dave, and I walked to go take the metro back to the hotel, and we had to walk the concourse, and it was like teeny bopper central, just like a bunch of, I don't know, teenage girls, maybe college girls, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Who were there to see Natasha. So I don't think they cared so much about the game, and so they probably showed up. They were a little more late arriving for that reason.
All right. So now step 2 of my research. So Dave is perplexed on the broadcast, and it's like, I'm like, dude, no. I mean, Dan, think about like post-game concerts. It's usually like Casey and JoJo or something. Like nobody's showing up at a
Casey
baseball
and
game.
JoJo?
Like nobody's showing up for for the concert, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like people are not going to the baseball. If there's like a, hey, such and such is after the show tonight, people don't usually go to the baseball game for the concert that is afterward.
Jake, you'd be surprised.
But in this
That's why
case,
they do it.
they were they clearly were. So then I looked it up, and it was part of the Nationals Pride Weekend. Because I looked at
They're going a whole weekend
They have a Friday. They definitely
to
have
make
a
up for the
Thursday
Rangers
and
not
Friday.
doing one at all.
They definitely have something Thursday and Friday. Because I looked at her concert tours, and I'm like, who is this lady? And it was all gay pride festivals.
Well,
then it started to make
did
sense
you see
to
who
me.
Did you see who they're having this upcoming weekend?
Nelly.
Nelly.
It was right behind home plate all weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Will he wear his
last
Lukas,
year-
or what's going to happen there?
It's a funny sports joke. 2 years ago,
I
we were
would
in
love.
Yeah, 2 years ago we were in Baltimore and we missed Shaq's DJ set post game by like a week. I was really bummed by that.
I've just always been amazed by the prospect of that. Because who's at a baseball game at 9 innings and they're like, more. I'll stay for another 90 minutes. Do some music right now.
I don't know.
No,
Kids.
it's a good question.
I
Dumb
guess.
kids.
I guess. So shout out to the Nationals for having pride.
The Rangers at the old ballpark would have concerts afterwards, like Smash Mouth and the Toadies, but then they do like some Texas country. What's it? Elliot Young or
Eli Young.
band? Eli
Yeah.
Young, yeah. And like there were people who they were there for that reason, and like the baseball game was a backdrop for them to pregame. Essentially, they would, hey, they're selling beer inside the ballpark, so we may as well go and get a few beers. And oh, by the way, we see some guys running around and hitting a ball, but all right, eventually the concert will start. I mean, I guess they do it because it does bring the boys to the yard.
I'd like to give the Rangers credit for not doing a Pride Night because, look at it this way. The only reason any of these businesses do anything with Pride is because they think that is the thing that's the way the wind is blowing, and that this is a good thing business-wise. They're worried about your money.
The bottom line.
And they want to take some of that gay money. And the Rangers are like, look, we're
keep it.
We're just not about that. We're just focused on winning baseball games.
Hitting dingers.
That's right. No? That doesn't work?
Hey, I heard the generic summer event was awesome, guys.
Boy, talk about we yanked that left turn there.
Yeah,
Our Pride show with Jared is next week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my
we're
bad.
having a one Pride show next week. Yeah.
I don't.
Don't worry about it.
Ted Emmerich
I
was there.
understand all sides.
No, I'm
I
just
understand
messing
all
around. I don't
sides.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care, but
seriously, though, I did hear it was a badass weekend or badass day. I'm so bummed I couldn't come out. That's so awesome. Ted was telling me about it, that the place was packed.
He told us to make sure that we catalog that he was there and you were not.
Right. No, for sure. I get it. Let's scoreboard.
I
Let's start this battle.
I had a weird moment where I was talking to a guy at the bar towards the end of the night. Ted was sitting next to me, and the guy didn't notice that. So I was talking to the guy for a few minutes, and then Ted spoke up, and the guy was like legitimately starstruck.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Oh, are you
That's
serious,
awesome.
Ted Emmerich?"
Like he didn't care about you.
We've been talking for, like I said, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, he's giving me his email. Yeah, okay, there's Ted though.
Ted's famous.
In fact,
Yeah.
whenever I was done
It's
talking to
TV.
somebody, I would just point, "Hey, Steve, that's Ted Emmerich right there."
That's right.
And that usually got him away.
Hey, are you doing Trivia League, giving away some tickets?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm not going to give you an option because I don't want to be ridiculed. So,
Oh, I would never do that. So let's do
yeah,
trivia
never.
now so that we can get our winner by the end of the program, which will be in
Okay.
3 minutes.
All right. So our question for
So
today.
every week, Jared Sandler will give away a pair of tickets to an upcoming Rangers game to the people who are in watching the live stream. Because you got to answer
Yes.
now in the chat. Is that the way we do this, Blake?
Yes. Yeah, hop in the YouTube chat. First correct answer will get Rangers tickets.
All right.
All right. There are 4 former first overall picks who have had at least one winning decision as a pitcher and hit multiple home runs in their career. So they're drafted first overall. They
Jeez,
have
that's
a
hard.
win, and they have multiple home runs. So I'll tell you, they're all pitchers, obviously, who hit multiple home runs. So that's the question.
Is there any Ranger tie?
No, there's not. Not directly.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll let everybody think about that while we move on to whatever else we got.
So, yeah, I guess let's just take the temperature on this thing. It seems like the lineup has been rejiggered. Is that a word we can still use? It feels uncomfortable to me every time I use it. So, changed again. They had Simeon in the cleanup spot the last few games. Let's just get your weekly vibe check. Do they still have the best ERA in baseball? Starters? Second.
Vibe check is there's kind of a sense that it's, I don't want to say now or never, because the reality is their division is very winnable. You know, they're a week and a half. They're like a good week run away from being a game out and like a good 10-day stretch of maybe being in first place. Like they're not in the NL East. They're not in the NL West. So I don't want to make it sound so dire, like it's now or never, but I think there's a feeling like, hey, we're about to get going. Like this, we need to get going. You know, they've got, you know, the Twins they're fine. They're not a great team. And then you get the White Sox and then the Royals. And it just seems like there's a feeling like this, all these offensive woes are about to turn. Maybe not in a way as robust as what we would have hoped before the year started, but with the way they're pitching, they don't need it to be the best lineup in baseball if you believe the pitching's going to maintain. So I just think the vibe check is that I think there's some optimism that after taking 2 or 3 from the Nationals, they're about to get things going. But just like anything, I mean, they got to do it, right? You know, we can talk about, oh, well, they're only facing this pitcher and that pitcher, and they've got some bad teams. But I mean, here's the deal with bad teams. Bad teams don't win games that they should win, and average teams kind of only win some of the games that they should win. Really good teams take care of business like that, and I guess we'll find out whether they can take care of business over this next 10-game stretch or so.
Did you see the video? I think John Boy did a breakdown. Was it the Red Sox and Angels dust up before a game? So,
yeah, Tyler Anderson and Jose Flores.
Yeah, so you had a pitcher and a first base coach. Were they talking to one another on the field before the game the next day? Is that the case? Like after the game where the incident took place?
Can I just tell you what I did here quickly?
Did you trip Goldberg while he was skating by?
No. So I found a couch to plop down on so that I wasn't just walking around. and I've got my phone out, and I could be looking into it. I could also be recording. I just realized I am sitting right across from a Victoria's Secret. It definitely,
so ladies are walking out. Yeah,
100%, and it's not just ladies; it's like high school girls, and so this was very not my best. I didn't realize I'm
Look how fast he's walking now.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
I just realized.
Get out of here.
So I don't even remember the question. I was worried that I was about to get arrested.
I was going to ask you about the Angels Red Sox thing.
Jose Flores. Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
What about it specifically?
It's
just that they would confront one another?
No, not even that. I mean, it's legal sign stealing, but I don't know that the average baseball watcher or listener knows that that's going on. That the first base. I think a lot of people. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but just think the first and third base coach are out there for the base paths, and that they're not communicating.
There's an Oakley store.
Yeah, there you go. But the idea that the first base coach is making subtle movements, taking 1 or 2 steps forward, based on whether a ball's a changeup, a breaking ball, or a fastball, I guess I was not aware that was happening all throughout every game.
Yeah, and I think there's an etiquette to it. I think there's. Yeah, it is. Players are trying to pick up stuff from the dugouts. I mean, and there's kind of a gentleman's way of doing it where, I don't want to. There was a Rangers pitcher this year who was tipping his pitches, and the team against which he was tipping took advantage of it in that game. I tell you, they didn't really do a whole lot of damage, but maybe it was a game where. The pitcher didn't perform the level you'd expect. And one of the guys on the other team the next day said, hey, just so you know, you were tipping your pitches. This is what you were doing right now. If it was the Rangers and the Astros and these two teams are going to face off 9 more times, would they pocket that for later? It's very possible. The Rangers and this team aren't going to play each other again. So maybe it was a little easier for them and they're not division rivals to say that. And then it's, if it's a friend, then or someone you've played with, the guys are constantly looking. There are some players who are very good at picking up tells, the way a pitcher, kind of pulses their index finger out of their glove when it's a slider and not a fastball, or maybe they can tell that they wiggle their finger. I mean, there are all sorts of different things. And some of this you can figure out on film in advance, so you maybe have a little bit of a lead. Sometimes it's stuff that you just notice by watching the game, and that's why you hear a lot of coaches, a lot of veteran players say that while the technology is great and having iPads in the dugout is great, and you might look into the Rangers dugout or any dugout and see a player with his head buried into an iPad reviewing his last at bat, there are a lot of people who say that there's an art that is lost by just watching the game. That, the iPad can tell you this and it can tell you that, but there's also a lot of value in just watching the other pitcher, whether you're trying to pick up signs or not. And I think Tyler Anderson's issue is that this is a first base coach who's taking advantage of the pitch the button pressing stuff, and maybe he was being egregious or obnoxious in the way he was doing it. It's a weird deal where it's like, obviously each team is trying to win and they don't care at what expense. But then there's this gray area of the right way to go about trying to do it. And I think there's some unwritten rules that make things complicated. But picking up tells, signs, all that stuff is a very active part of every single game. The issue when the Astros did it was that they did it very illegally by using technology to get an unfair advantage to do it.
Bingo.
What? Bagging on the Astros out of nowhere?
No.
I got you. That's super interesting,
People have said, what's the difference? So what's the issue with the Astros? Well, the Astros didn't do it with human beings in their eyes, right? They did it with technology utilized illegally.
It's a cool video that John Boy did. Go find it.
And speaking of value watching the game, did you pick that up from Brett Boone? That's one of the things he said when he got here is he's having guys just kind of watch the game, right?
That's something that Bo. I mean, I've heard that. I think a lot of us have heard that for the last several years now. That technology has just become more and more part of the day to day, and that the batter to batter and stuff. But that Brett Boone that's his wheelhouse, right? They didn't have iPads in the dugout when he played. Bruce Bochy has talked about this a lot. That he'd love for guys to just be on the top step of the dugout watching. You hear a lot of pitchers talk about the value of watching, maybe, like Jack Leiter, for instance, against Tampa, started the third game of the series. And he and I had talked the day before about the value of being able to watch the first two games. And yeah, you can watch film and you pick up a lot on film, but there's a lot you pick up with your eyes. But yeah, I think that is one of the things that Brett Boone is trying to impress upon guys, is simplifying things, not making this a BC calculus test, and watch. Use your eyes, and if you use your eyes, you'll learn things. And it's tough to convince guys who have gone about things a certain way to just all of a sudden make a change. But hopefully some guys can blend the way they do things with the way things have been done in the past that has also yielded successful results.
So last week, before we get to the trivia answer, I don't think you put in the right piece of audio, Blake, because I'm looking at it now, and it's a half a second long. Do you think that that's what you wanted?
Probably not right.
Okay. So I can't play you the audio. We'll try to get that. So we'll get the trivia answer first, I guess, because we do have a trivia winner. Jared, what is the question again?
All right, so first overall draft picks who have a winning decision and multiple home runs in their career.
So first of all,
and the answers?
Jake, there's not a chance in hell that either one of us could name 4 first overall draft picks who were pitchers who made the major leagues.
Can you try name some?
Like Justin Verlander.
He was not first overall.
God damn it.
Boy, is it not? I guess I just would assume it's
like Roger Clemens wasn't first overall. Of course, Roger Clemens probably doesn't have multiple home runs either.
Paul Skeens.
Correct, but obviously not hitting these days.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to think through who you're hot. Boy, yeah, I don't know.
Boy, the Paul Skeens. I love watching Paul Skeens stuff, man.
I just love it because it seems like every time anything he does just makes people more mad at the Pirates.
Yeah, because
I like.
His last 7 starts, he has like a 1.1 ERA and 1 victory. Like, he's unbelievable, and the Pirates get to mess that up.
Is anybody on it here, Blake?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got?
Go ahead, Jared.
All right, so, Steven Strasburg, Andy Bennis, Tim Belcher, and Garrett Cole.
Andy Bennis.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember this name.
Alan Bennis' brother?
Yes.
Okay.
And somebody, Blake might tell us who he is.
Justin T.
Is going to a Ranger game for free because of Jared Sandler.
Will you have fun?
Yeah, hey, Jake.
Yeah.
Jake, did we give away a couple tickets at GSE or no?
No, we were keeping our head above water trying to give away everything else. There was a lot going on.
Okay.
Should we just play that audio for him next week then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because we asked you to try to work in the place to see and be seen because you were in Washington, Pat. You were in Washington. And you mentioned the Metro, too. That was we took a summer vacation to Washington once with the kids. And me and my older daughter, who is really into sports, we went to a game, just us. And you get off you pour out of that Metro right into, I don't remember if it was right field or left field, but you walk right out and
Field.
It's right. What is it? Right field?
Left field. No, left field. It's so cool.
It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, public transit.
Very Euro.
To your stadium, to a downtown. Like, it's so awesome. I wish we had that kind of stuff here, but that's why we have Elite Rides DFW, because they won't give us the public transit on that. All right, man. Oh, we want to give you something to say for next week, right?
Yeah, please do.
We want you to somehow work in the 90-10 scenario. The first 90% of event or the last 10% of an event. So,
are you familiar with the 90-10
No,
hypothetical?
I'm not as smart as you guys. What's the help me out here.
Jimmy Nelson one of our favorite comedians.
He has a hypothetical. Would you rather perform the first 90% or the last 10% of that sacred oral task?
On a man.
Okay.
On a man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like on a lady.
So I just
You're
obviously don't
definitely
need to go
picking the
into
last
details.
10%, because then it will only be a half hour.
Yeah, I don't need to go into details. I can just throw in 90-10, right?
You do with that.
Yeah,
what
you
will.
don't.
We're
You don't
just
have to
handing
say
you the
when
colors.
blowing a
Just-
teammate.
First 90 or
Hey,
last
Elvis.
10.
When you and Beltray were just having lots of fun.
Update your names.
Yeah.
The first 90 or
All
last
right.
10. Yes.
Works for me.
Okay, and we will play that audio for you next week.
Next week.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is Jared Sandler. Hey.
See you guys.
You want the ultimate, you gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price.
Give a little love to Lone Star Beer as well. I'm wearing that hat. LoneStarBeer.com is where you can go. Type in, what is it, DumbZone 21 or DZ 21?
DumbZone 21.
Okay, DumbZone 21. Get 21% off your merch. Lone Star Beer, very, very popular at the DZ GSE this past weekend. And it is, there's a reason for it, because it's great. Get that Lone Star Light, too. So Lone Star Beer, thank you for supporting the cause, doing the stuff, doing the thing. Want to take a break and then do Cowboy stuff?
Sure.
All right.
Hey, Claire, did you just get rear-ended by that truck and it wasn't your fault?
I did. Cornelius Falcon, what should I do?
Pick up your phone and start pressing threes, you ungrateful monster.
I just got rear-ended. Should I call the insurance company?
It's always best to talk to us before dealing with the insurance company.
Okay, but I don't think I can afford a lawyer.
Don't worry, you don't pay us anything up front. No hidden fees, no surprises.
Oh, thank you. I feel so overwhelmed right now.
Before you call the insurance company, call Frankel first. Frankel and Frankel. Call 214 or 817 all threes.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
So we're on TV Monday through Friday, Channel 27, More 27, or you can go to the Fox local app if you don't live in Dallas. DZ TV, search that instead of Dumb Zone. And we were on Steve Noviello's program, The 10, on Friday. And according to John Kukla, it's awesome for Kukla to go out to the DZ GSE. I did not expect that.
I didn't either.
Good dude.
Wearing jeans.
Was he really?
He had to be hot.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Kukla in shorts.
I don't
That's
feel like
not an
he's
illusion.
shorts guy. That's like
no.
I want to see him with a strawberry
that can't
mark
happen.
and
What, do you want
walk
to
around
see Tony
in shorts.
Soprano in a nice pair of jorts? No, some men are not made to be in shorts.
Yeah.
And that guy's one of them.
I think he can do
Anyway.
it.
No, it was really cool he was there. Before you move on real quick, it was kind of like, do you ever see a movie about like an orphan kid or something and like the neighborhood all comes together and all does their part and he like graduates high? It's not that big of a deal, but it's better than they thought he'd do. That's kind of how I felt seeing like Emu Tom and like John Kukla and Matt Dallas and the business lawyer. Like just seeing all these people show up, it felt very like, I don't know. It felt like we were like an orphaned child.
Yeah,
that
because
had
they've all
these
been helping
people.
us out tremendously.
Yeah, they had no clue what we were doing. Every one of the people I just mentioned had some level of like getting us to where we are. It was cool.
I was talking to I think our listener with the porniest name,
Boy.
Alexa Silvers.
Yeah, no, she gave me a business card. Same name as Bernie's daughter.
Bernie, and that's why it's the porniest name, because Bernie's daughter, that's her porn name. But anyway, she was just telling me about her bit and operation. She had bought out her partners, and she owns like a marijuana dispensary in Oklahoma. And just kind of talking about how she's doing pretty well, and they're killing it and stuff, and I'm like, why does everybody else know so much about business and we don't? Why are we? What is our problem? Anyway, John Kukla, who was not wearing shorts, he might be a never nude. He might. He might shower in the
I wasn't
jeans.
going to say it.
But he sent us information on the Steve Noviello program that we're on. It's called The 10. We were on Friday, and we have no context for this, so I'm not sure whether to feel great. But he says we beat The Price is Right, The Today Show, and The View. Like everything that was on at that time, we had a better rating than. Now, do they usually have an even? You know what I mean? You just don't know the context.
Right.
Like we beat it. Does he usually not beat those shows?
I think they usually do.
Like, why did he mention The Price is Right in particular? Like, is it odd that we would beat The Price is Right, and today we finally did because of, Cleveland guy versus Cleveland guy?
I think that the TV.
Is Drew
battle.
Carey still Price is Right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
This looks weird.
What does?
Drew Carey.
He does now?
Just in general, to me.
Is he like real cut?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I heard.
And it's weird that he was a Marine.
Like, it's not Ozempic, right? It's like he just worked out. This is a few years ago. He started working out.
Yeah, he looks awesome, but that's just not the Drew Carey I expected.
Yeah, well.
I was watching
Suck
Stavi
our
last.
butts. You're in our rear view. You and Star Jones or whoever does the View now.
I was watching some Stavi comedy last night because he was so great in San Antonio, and I was watching Tires.
I watched the first couple.
Yeah, so I watched episode 2, and he's great. I love that guy now. And I was just wondering, what if he does the Hollywood thing, the Jonah Hill? Like, I'm going to get hot. I'm going to start working out. Because much of his identity is that he's a fat, disgusting guy.
And dude, it's so funny we're talking about this. So he used to be a lot bigger. And he even did like a YouTube series where he was lifting weights. He used to have a massive gap tooth that he got fixed. This has been a thing that he talked about, But Jonah Hill's still, like, at his core, kind of a good-looking dude. Like, he was fat and stuff, but, like, Stavi is repulsive. Like, he's intentionally... His hair, I don't think he has
He looks 50, and he's like 30.
Guy gets a lot of butt.
Of course he does, because he's... Yeah, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said, right?
But, well, I don't know.
So does Randy Johnson, and look at him.
Yeah, but, like, who's another good example? Are you telling me that, like, the most disgusting famous guys, like, Stavi to me is sexy because he's funny and he's, like, super confident. He's, like, sweatsuit mob guy. But, like, you're telling me, like, Meatloaf could just pull anything?
Steve Buscemi or something?
That's a good example. Is that true?
At the height of their popularity, I'll bet you.
Like, just looking like a rat. It doesn't matter.
Mini-Me was having sex with Playboy
That's a
bunnies.
good point. You might have just found the full extension of this.
They won't get hurt with him, too.
They just want to see it.
So, shout out to
Puppet,
Fox 4 and to More 27. All right, I want to play you guys this real quick. I've been trying to keep up with the Cirque show. They're live Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 8 on YouTube, but I don't know if they played this. But Cash sent this to me. So, as I don't have to tell you guys this, the LPGA Championship is here in North Texas in like a week. It's out at the
5th major.
That's exactly right. It is in Frisco, out at it's the PGA, right?
Mm-hmm.
The office there. It's June 19th through the 22nd. So I guess they were having, how they're like a couple weeks out from that, you'll do a little bit of media promoting it. And they were in town, and they were promoting it. It's the, like, KPMG LPGA Championship. So they had last year's winner, Asian lady. And they were interviewing her. She's doing a press conference, and it's here in town. She's asked a question by someone I think says she's with the Dallas Examiner. But this is very much like the Rondo press conference, where somebody who doesn't normally ask sports questions is at a sports press conference. The other thing to remember, though, is that Rondo spoke English. This is an Asian woman and a reporter. We're going to want to stop and start this a lot, I imagine, Clayton, but let's just go.
Yes, my name is Diane Xavier, and I'm with the Dallas Examiner newspaper. Now, in the media, we don't see a lot of female golfers getting the attention that they deserved. And now that you're here representing the ladies' game, what do future golfers, whether they're male or female, what is the secret of winning that prestigious trophy? You mentioned something about the wind. Do y'all have, just that, and do y'all have to study weather, the wind, and that stuff as a golfer? I've never played the game.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Stop it.
So
again,
the golfer's very confused.
Yeah. Again, it's the most insane question, and I don't know if the Soroy's played this, but I tried to find this online because Cash was telling me about it, and he's like, I can't find it anywhere, but I had a friend who was there. So I tried to find this press conference online, tried to find it on social media, and Cash was like, hey, one of the people who was there running a camera got it for me. Dallas Examiner is a African-American newspaper serving the African-American community in Dallas. That's common.
Okay,
you
number
got,
one.
Different viewpoints for papers.
Let's.
But yeah, editorially, we have a lot of questions.
Yeah, let's
here.
start with why are they even there?
Right. Yeah.
You're a black newspaper at a ladies golf tournament.
Well, it's the KPMG, Dan.
Hypothetically, it's we want to grow the game. We want to write about women's golf for our audience. I don't have a great answer for you, but I don't know. To my knowledge,
that would be number one.
To my knowledge,
number
there was
two.
not like a popular black golfer there from Dallas or something. Like there was no tie-in.
Number two, if they are there, I don't know. Like, okay, I'm going to send someone to a Mavs press conference. Would that person need to say, I've never watched basketball? Like, hey, I'm here with the champion or whatever. I'm here and I just got to tell you, like, what's it feel like when a ball goes through a hoop? I've never seen a game. Like, that's basically what this person is saying. I mean, does the wind and stuff matter?
Do you not get tired?
Does the wind
You're
and
running
stuff?
around out there
like,
all day.
It's all hot.
Luka.
What do you do?
Like, I mean, it seems like the basket's pretty far away from you when you shoot it.
Yeah.
So how does that all work? And yeah, again, Amy Yang, I'm not super familiar with her English. She speaks a little bit here, but she's
probably
very
ESL.
confused. Yeah, it's not. She's not first.
I've never played the game.
I'm going to start right now by
So
saying
she
if
looks
you've never played the
confusingly
game,
over
I got
to
a deal
the
for you
PR guy.
before you get out of here. So I guess the question to Amy is course conditions. Does wind play a factor in it? Knowing the golf course, is that important?
Wasn't the question at all, really.
Something about the wind, and then because you're facing so many different elements, and just to get that trophy.
Oh, for coming
Okay.
PGA tournament?
Yeah, for the KPMG, you won it last year.
Yeah.
And you grew up admiring.
Don't you try to stop
You
this.
said your idol, and now you're holding that trophy that you won previously, and you're trying to get that trophy back.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is, sorry for rumbling. What advice would you have for a youngster to hold that one day?
Oh, okay.
All right, that was the worst.
What advice?
I guess what I'm saying is what advice?
Would you advise them to pay attention to the weather? If you do, I don't know.
Yeah, how
I've
would
never
they
played.
like? Basically, her question at the end was, "What advice would you give a young golfer to be able to win a tournament?" And
Which
be like,
is, you know,
practice and stuff. I don't know.
generic, but yeah. What
Check
would
the
you say to
radar.
all the young women out there? Just write your story, but instead
play golf a lot.
Somehow we got caught up in. It feels like you even have to think about the wind, don't you? Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I mean all this stuff.
feeble
I mean,
little
it's-
lady.
Yeah.
Considering the wind. So a couple of things from Cowboys world.
It's just never great for a reporter to be talking that long.
And you know it too. That's, to me, I've never been in quicksand. That's what I imagine it feels like. Sometimes it happens in radio.
But I feel like that lady didn't know it. She thought this is going great,
Killing it. Olympic swimmer.
Well, she apologized for rambling.
Sorry for rambling, but I got a lot of good shit here, man. These are great questions I'm asking.
You think she wrote them down?
I mean, I don't think we have time, but I honestly want to hear the beginning of that again. Just because now that you know the end, to hear how she started.
Well, let's go.
It's just insane.
Yeah, we need it again.
At least just the beginning. Look at her face at the beginning.
Xavier, and I'm with the Dallas Examiner.
Yeah, what's your question?
newspaper. Now, in the media, we don't see a lot of female golfers getting the attention that they deserved. And now that you're
Interesting.
here representing the ladies' game,
It's a
what
LPGA
do
tournament.
future golfers, whether they're male or female,
But that wasn't.
what is the secret
What
of
started
winning
this?
that prestigious trophy? You mentioned something about the wind.
She looks.
That, and do y'all have to study weather, the wind, and that stuff as a golfer? I've never played the game.
Okay, yeah.
The wind and that stuff.
that's-
So you have to study
fantastic.
the wind and that stuff. Yes, I took a meteorology course, a minor, in college. And so, yeah, we go over the wind patterns, the squall line.
I wish that guy hadn't stepped
Yeah.
in. I wanted to see how she was going to react.
She was very confused. She was very confused. So over the weekend, I guess this was yesterday morning, I saw a clip of Dallas Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb sitting. Looked like it was from a documentary. He was sitting at a bar table at home, looking at his phone, and it was it appeared to be a clip from the day last summer as camp was approaching, when Jerry said something to the effect that there was no urgency in getting CeeDee's deal done. And then CeeDee just tweeted, LOL. And off to the races we were. So I was like, oh, where's that clip from? Turns out on CeeDee Lamb's YouTube page, there's a 10, 11-minute documentary that came out yesterday. So I watched that over the weekend. But
About?
Last off season.
What else is
when
on
he
his
was holding
YouTube?
out? Nothing really. There's like something from his draft night. That's why I was confused. But it also over there in my suggested viewing before I was able to watch my my wide receiver ones documentary, I was reminded that my cornerback Trevon Diggs has his own documentary series about his rehab that he promised, and it's out there. It's got 3 episodes.
Now, isn't that only out there because they criticized his first rehab? And
So I watched. So the CD one is about 10 or 11 minutes, and it's just him talking. It's really just last off season, and it's because he was holding out. And we can get into that one in a second. The Trevon one is hilarious. And I had to check all my dates on this because Trevon got hurt in 2023 and 24. Right, Blake? He got hurt early in 23.
In one-on-ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, tore his ACL.
Yeah.
And then came back last year and got hurt again.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when Jerry this time around, Dan, says, well, we think he's approaching it properly this time around, unlike last time, he's talking about last offseason, which is the offseason that Trevon Diggs is documenting in this series.
This isn't about this offseason.
No, that's what I think is so funny about
Oh.
it, is we all thought, well, Jerry came out and said your rehab sucked. You weren't ready when camp started. You ended up being half-assed throughout the season and weren't able to finish the year. So hopefully this time around, he got hurt back in December. They're like, yeah, maybe you'll be ready this time. Well, no, this starts in like June of 2024. And it's dog shit. They're 15-minute episodes, and it's just Trevon Diggs hanging out. It's barely even edited. You know how he sounds? He sounds like that all the time. He doesn't talk. It's not that interesting. It's really kind of funny because I want you to watch one of these. It looks like he doesn't like working out. Like, wouldn't you not put out? That's why stop.
Who does? Does somebody like working out?
Well, so you remember when a few minutes ago when I told you very fat comedian Stavros Halkias put out a series on YouTube of him lifting weights? It was hilarious because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
When Trevon has to get in a pool and do rehab, like he looks like me trying to get my kid to clean their room. And this is his documentary.
This is also not in a gym. It's like a really nice hotel downtown.
It looks like they're at the W Residences. It's right off 35. He's staying there, and they just go outside. And it's like him and 3 of his buddies. There is a trainer there. They just have like a Beats pill, and he goes through a pretty half-ass workout. And again, I'm not talking shit here because the guy can ball, and if he can ball and he's committed to his workout, then he's going to be great. Trevon Diggs is not exactly what you would call cut. You know what I mean? Like, I've now watched this guy work out for 40 minutes. You don't look at him and think, boy, this guy just absolutely pure-cut athlete dedicated to the craft here. And then, like, the way he carries himself probably doesn't help, and that he's real chill and laid back and low key, and then people take that as not caring if you're, not caring.
Micah's not really cut either, is he?
Not as much as he used to be, and not really ever. No, he's never been
take a look
a physical freak.
Miles Garrett, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, but I don't.
Miles Garrett, or even like the Watts or Bosa's, to me look more cut than Micah does. They always have. It's different.
Yeah, but you expect these professional athletes to look like bodybuilders, but they're not. It's a different kind of strength.
No, but Trevon, I'm just saying, I feel like I've seen a lot of cherry-picked athlete summer workout videos and mini documentaries, a lot of them. And his somehow, credit to him for putting it out, the takeaway I had for Trevon Diggs' off-season documentary was that he hates rehab. And then, he got hurt again. And I don't know why he put this out, is what I'm saying. It's not all that great of a look for him. The CeeDee one is actually pretty interesting. It's shorter. It's one episode. But nobody's questioned him. You know what I mean? On his give an F. He's a team guy. His holdout was BS. They clearly should have signed that the year before and probably would have gotten a discount because all he did then was career, and run the price up as much as it could go. But
so the year before was where Micah is now?
Yeah.
He's a year before you
Right.
have to sign him? Okay.
Which is why Micah's probably at camp this year. More on that in a minute. But not next year. If he's not signed, yeah. There's no
if he's
chance.
not signed, he's still at camp this year. Okay.
So just a little bit of CeeDee talking about the holdout.
What did Shotty say? What does present mean? Well, I mean, Micah's. He was at the team dinner, not at practice.
Right, and a lot of the guys
playing ping pong.
A lot of the guys also have his phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them his gamer tag, and they're sort of not sitting next to each other, but their presence is. Their
And that's
aura.
bonding.
That is bonding. So CeeDee, who knows? I always try to think like Dan on this. Yes, they sucked, so it's easy to say the holdout and the lack of reps was the reason. But I also am not a moron, and I feel like practicing football.
They said it
helps football.
CeeDee said holding out hurt them at the beginning of the year.
Well, he talks about it at length here, and it just makes you wonder why they even have to do this.
Hey, so what did the TD say? He's gonna be done before the training camp or what?
No, after, bro. They take it so long. So, moral of the story is, we had a number. That shit went out the window. I don't know why.
Lamb, who's not backing down. Lamb.
By the way, that's something that people do, is say the moral of the story when they simply mean the story. Summary of the story.
Continues his
That first time ever in your life of not really being able to be at a training camp, be around your guys, not being able to get your body doing what you wanted to do, and what were you doing during?
Honestly, it was the worst. It was the worst ever. Do you hear me? For those who know me, they know how serious I take this football stuff. You know what I'm saying? With everything in me, I put pride, body, mind, soul, everything I got into winning and the result of it, and obviously preparation that goes into it, and for me to miss out on the right preparation with my team, my quarterback, my guys, just building those bonds off the field, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? I missed out on that. And I'd be a fool if I said every day here in Miami, granted, the weather was nice just as well as it is in LA or Oxnard. It wasn't nearly as fulfilling as it would be if I was with my guys. And that's just point blank period. And I feel like
he does that a lot, doesn't he, Blake?
What?
Point blank period.
Yeah, he has a lot of those slogans that I don't think he quite knows what they all mean.
Yeah, he's got a little word cloud that he grabs from sometimes. I'll finish this up.
And that's just point blank period. And I feel like that's where I get to be myself on the field. You know what I'm saying? I get to show everybody what I like to do for a living and how much I cherish it, how much I treat it to the game. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro, it was a unique situation. That was the first time I ever did that, and I'm praying it's the last. It should be. I was out in Miami with the guys.
All right, so now when he should be at practice, they're like, "Oh, so I was in Miami with the guys." They cut to an apartment, and it's just looks like a bachelor pad. It's daytime. There's a 90-inch TV with Madden on, and it's just him and 6 of his buddies.
I was out in Miami with the guys. chilling, playing Madden, working out, playing Call of Duty, NCAA.
This is all he's doing. The next 6 minutes of the documentary are just them playing video games.
Yeah, it's real easy to say the right thing.
What's it like to be one of the buddies?
I was just thinking that.
You know, it's funny.
'Cause you're not working?
At one point, it's kind of off camera, but the two guys in the background are both like, man, Steven got to get it together. Steven got to come to the table.
And that's who your
your
council of elders is, your wise men telling you can't sign for this or that.
It's that. There's a granddad that he's on the phone with. It's like, tell him stop playing with you. It's constant throughout this time that he's gone. It's just.
What's the point of putting this out?
That's what I wanted to talk about. The same thing, but also with here.
Right now, we're all about team. We're all about culture. We're all about that star. But
you signed the deal, so you're safe there. But what is the point? Because to me. Sometimes I feel this way when I watch politics. I know that this is just how it is. You just say whatever, but it seems to me sometimes that if you say something about someone and then you're going to run into them, that would come up. And so to me, if I put this documentary out, if I'm Stephen Jones or I'm Will McClay or Jerry, I would want to know if my employee put this out, and I would go to them and say hey, we could have talked about this.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know you felt that way. Although the Cowboys probably did know he felt that way and don't care because they were always going to sign it at the last minute because that's what generates the most.
Or are they happy because they love pub, they love controversy,
Right, yeah.
they love eyeballs? So, if CeeDee is doing a project and that's going to make us talk about the Cowboys on a Monday in June, then cool.
Because the other clip I have, I'll just sum it up for you. It's a minute of him saying this was the worst thing of my life.
Let's hear it.
Or he's just yeah, it's terrible. Okay.
Trying to get my mind off the what I'm really going through, you know what I'm saying? Because for us as NFL players, everything is always expected to be good because we got to do what we love every day, and we have X amount of dollars, and a lot of people would expect our lives to be phenomenal. Which, granted, most days are better than others, but there's some days where it ain't real. You just can't believe it's you going through it.
Okay, I want to play the rest. Okay,
but I don't know about all this.
Okay, he's not.
Woe is
listen,
me too. This.
He's not communicating this exactly in a way that I'm going to be able to defend. But I think the idea is just he's saying, you assume. I'll put it to you. You assume that just because your option is both of them are a lot of money to you, that this would be easy. But you've been in that situation, and it isn't. Right? So he's just saying, hey, this is very hard for me. I care a lot about being there to play. This is my identity. And it's very hard for me to look like a quitter or I don't care because I have to hold out. And my point is, whether that's real or not, he feels that way, and his bosses could keep him from feeling that way if they did their job on time.
But also, okay, remind me too. So it's his deal was up.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a free agent, or they're going to slap the franchise tag on him?
Correct.
Had they slapped it?
I don't think it ever got to that. No. They would have, though.
Okay. Which does mean you have 1 year at $30 million, or you have I'm just saying.
It's all relative,
I don't know.
though.
I know it's relative, but it's really hard to. You're going to be on the team.
Okay, but we're debating.
Way,
we're debating two relative.
You're saying that you
here.
had to hold out.
I'm not putting him.
Do you
against
feel like
you.
he
I'm
had
putting him against Jerry.
But did he have to hold out?
No, but
like the NFLPA negotiated
but he got
this.
hurt though, and then he's screwed. So
he's screwed in the sense that he had 1 year of $30 million, and he's already made probably 30 in his career. So.
Dak got hurt his contract year and was fine.
Quarterback's
wide
a little
receiver,
different.
depending on his speed, is.
Although, can I show you Michael Gallup's leg barely hanging on and a fresh contract he signed? Blake's probably right. But in a normal world, I think CeeDee holding out, I don't know that he had to, but I'm not against it. And the team had the money to pay him. He's very important to their success. And I think that he was subject to this, whether you want to call it 9 or 18-month saga, because it's good for their business. He's going to get the same amount of money at the end.
Like in the long run, you think that's part of it?
I
for
do.
The Cowboys.
I do, and I don't think it helps the team And if it's not, then if it's no matter to them, then do it the other way.
Like
then.
Jerry's spin was, hey, he won't get hurt in preseason. He won't have to.
He wouldn't even be playing in this game. He would sit there before every preseason game and be like,
Right.
what does it matter? He wouldn't play in this one. Well, okay, why didn't everybody go home then?
Ostensibly acting like the practices meant nothing, too, then.
Any of it. Meetings? Like all the culture stuff you're talking about? Why even show up? Of course it matters. Like I remember at the end of last year, McCarthy saying, we'd kind of like to have a team in the summer, or like April, maybe even May. I don't want to meet these guys in California. Anyways,
I'd like to save the other stuff. Want to?
Yes.
Just because it feels like that's going to take us a little while.
I got a lot of.
We have some really good
shoddy
Cowboy
thoughties.
stuff. We have good Cowboy stuff for tomorrow, and we'll put that in a subscriber-only show. If you would like to subscribe, you can go to, patreon.com/thedumbzone? Or dumbzone.com? Okay, well, anyway, I would like to give a little love to Qualis Roofing before we do the news. Because Qualis not only, they invented the sit-in, like getting a sit-in if you do some big business with them. If you end up getting a roof with Qualis Roofing, they will buy you a sit-in where you can go to our downtown Dallas DZ TV studios or high atop my garage, or maybe you want to pick a Cowboy game to watch with us. It is your choice, but they're really great to work with, man. I've heard from so many people who have worked with Qualis, and they can't believe it.
I think when I was growing up, I always assumed that all product or service testimonials were fake. Until we started working with companies like Qualis, and then we had the event Friday night, and there's like half a dozen people that come up to me like, I got a roof from Qualis. They're great.
Yeah. They
talked through all of these difficult situations. There was a guy whose mom was trying to sell a house because they had just lost his dad. It's a long story, and the Qualis guy's like, we got it. We'll work through all of it. We'll deal with your insurance people. We'll deal with taking care of this.
Maybe it's a shady industry. Like maybe people get screwed from, like bad roofing company. Oh, you're nodding at that? You agree?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's part of what I was going to say at the end. Like these testimonies are 100% legit. Like Community Mechanical with me was fantastic. Own well, based on you guys. There's a lot of credit goes to things when you guys have these guys on because they all seem legit and seem trustworthy. And
it might be like us a little bit too. They're a little smaller operation. They're not the big. You're not just a number.
I think that helps.
And I think customer service is like a big deal for them.
Also, this guy looks trustworthy. I know it's an audio medium, but he sounds trustworthy. So this is good too. It's QualisGC.com. He is a public servant. We pay your salary.
Thank you for your service.
That's what you're supposed to do.
You're welcome.
QualisGC.com. You get a roof. You'll get yourself a $690 sit-in. QualisGC.com. Tell them the Dumb Zone sent you.
Here's Jake.
That's important.
It is.
Zone News.
Well, we could go one of two ways to start things off here. Cowboy crime or what's going on in Los Angeles?
Cowboy crime.
I think it might have been Michael Snap Saturday night at the DZ GSE who was pointing out the things come in threes after someone said, hey, did you see what happened to Boss Man Fat? Kelvin Joseph, former Cowboys second-round pick, Kelvin Joseph. We know him as Boss Man Fat, the rapper.
Yeah.
He was involved in a fatal car accident.
I guess the NFL does it in general, but don't the Cowboys have a specialty of second-round picks with high upside but many, many red flags?
Yeah, and I don't know. I'd have to look. I mean, I'm sure you're right that is teams do it in the second round more, but I feel like what they do is like way off the reservation. You know, I mean, it was a 7 out of 8 year run or something. And yeah, Kelvin Joseph, Blake only remembers these because if somebody was wrong about him in the draft. But
it's fun to revisit.
But
like who? Like Jake?
Like me or like Bob. It depends on which side we're on, which one we're wrong on. Like we just referenced Michael Gallup. Okay.
Oh well.
Yeah, you have.
I only point out your hits, bro.
I know because he uplifting.
This is
I've
a
always
hit.
said about him.
Because Jake said Kelvin Joseph won't.
Is it a hit?
Yeah, you hit it. You knocked it out of the park.
You said this is going to hurt us.
I brought it up.
Oh.
Work our way all the way around. No, it was a character thing in college. Like, you don't need to. Guys are going to leave schools now, and they're going to leave a lot, so you can't just look sideways at that. But when the LSU coaches are kicking you off the team, like, why don't you just finish up somewhere else? And the Kentucky guys didn't even finish the year there. It was just a bad deal.
So it's not you choosing.
Right.
And we played audio from Mark Stoops, the Kentucky coach, on a coach's show when Kelvin Joseph got brought up, and he was like, yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys still drafted him.
Same thing with Tristan Hill. There was a lot of questions on Tristan Hill, but Marinelli loved him. And, whenever Kelvin Joseph was back here, of course, there were other incidents. Trackdown actually found him. Sean Rabb.
No way.
Standing out by a dumpster or something back in 2022 because there was a shooting, a drive-by that he was in the vehicle over on Greenville Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
And they had his boss man fat belt buckle on Trackdown.
Yeah, he got back to him a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
But he did, yeah, okay.
So there was that, and then now this case is an overnight crash at Park and Central. 27-year-old female motorcycle driver deceased.
Did you say female motorcycle driver?
I did.
Oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
You just don't hear that a lot.
No.
Probably because they all die.
Short lifespan.
Yeah.
No, but I do sometimes when I read stories about stuff like this. Maybe this means my life is really boring, but when I saw this morning, I spent a good 10 minutes thinking about her life.
That she's out at 2 a.m. on her motorcycle?
Just tearing at. It was later than that, dude. It was 4:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, Saturday night. You're out on 70, probably doing 100, living life at a level that I do not even know about, let alone dream of. Dude, that's a 27-year-old woman with that much tea, bro.
I hate being behind a motorcycle on the highway.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Because I'm sitting there texting and doing other stuff. I'm not really paying attention.
I know.
And then what if they fall or something? I'm gonna kill them. And then I gotta stay there for paperwork and just imagine all this, how that would ruin my day.
Call the Frankels, just in case.
Oh, I would call the Frankels immediately.
Might as well do it now at 214-817-333-3333.
Should I call them? You want me to call them now, right this second?
Well, you're not currently injured, but if a Cowboys second-round pick or any Cowboys pick or any – don't show the photo of the lady during the spot.
She looks like she could be –
You already started the spot,
You
though.
were talking. And
she looks like she could be in the Fast and Furious.
Okay, she's not going to be calling.
She's in Fast 11.
That's exactly who I was imagining.
Fast 11.
Yeah.
Live from heaven. That's where she is.
Where I would imagine they still have, I was going to say shady insurance people, but I don't. Either way, call 214-817-333-3333.
The Frankels are there in heaven for sure.
They'll take care of you. But just think about her, dude. What was she doing before that? She might be a stripper. She probably, she gets off her shift, killing it. Probably made more than you made this weekend.
What if she
on
was
Saturday night at 3:30? Then
she was leaving her shift at Cook's Children's Hospital.
She might have been. That's even hotter, to be honest with you.
Or she had been nursing. Naughtily.
No, it's not really time for them to get off.
When do they get off?
What's your wife's shift? Does she do overnight ever?
7 to 7.
Oh, what a beating.
And if your nights, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
So, anyways, back to Boss Man Fat. He called the cops about half an hour after the accident. He's like, yeah, I think something happened.
I hit something.
Yeah.
So he just kept going.
Yeah. But he did call, and it wasn't the next day. Who was that? Dwayne Goodrich? You guys remember that one? Also a cornerback.
Was that a
cornerback
guy?
Also a second-round pick.
Guy on the side of the road changing a tire or something like that, and he ran over him?
Yeah, he hit a mid-Samaritan.
I actually was in a fantasy football league with him after he got out of jail for that whole deal.
Okay.
Got anything from that?
No, nothing remarkable.
Did you guys ever ask him
Dwayne
about it?
Goodrich plays fantasy football.
Was he good?
No, it's like somebody else was drafting for him.
Boy, is Dwayne Goodrich a big enough deal to have a GM? Like, Dan's one thing, but
Yeah, we had Popeye Jones, Dwayne Goodrich. It was a
okay
bunch of strange outlier sports people.
Well, Kelvin Joseph got out of jail yesterday, and yeah, it's a tough one. This just hours.
You could write a rap about this.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will. This just hours after there was a news story that fellow cornerback Pac-Man Jones was arrested. This one's pretty straightforward. Just your basic public intox at a club.
What do you mean? How do you get arrested for that? That's the point of being at a club.
Yeah, and
to be publicly intoxicated.
His lawyer sounds like he got like 22-year-old me. That or Randy Marsh at a youth baseball game.
He's got a bit lippy.
Peter Schaefer, his agent, says that he, quote, had done nothing wrong. He says, initially officers claimed he was being arrested for assault. They shifted that to public intox. Finally settled on disorderly conduct.
Man, I'm always...
He's innocent until
my
proven
conduct
guilty.
is very orderly.
Yeah.
By the way, quick aside.
By the way, when I said 3, Greg Hardy was our story on Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying we had Greg Hardy, and then over the weekend we had Pac-Man, and it was a big... I mean, it's silly season for the NFL, though, right now, dude. You're seeing wide receivers with pink cocaine on boats, and...
This is probably why
all pro kickers are going to live podcasts.
They do
recordings.
voluntary mini camps.
People are going crazy. That's
Just to
all
kinda,
it is. That's all. My brother would tell me that all the time when he worked for the Saints.
Let's
It's
try
like,
to get you guys around.
Yes, just space it to where you can hope
We don't
you
really
can
want
keep
you to
them out
work
of
on
trouble.
football.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to shave your mustache after the DZ GSE. But Blake has kept the mustache.
I'm so onto this.
What?
He said he was going to shave it so that what would happen, which was every single person came up to him, including his buddy Dan, and is like, it looks great. I was standing with him all day. People are like, looks great, looks great, looks great. And now he's going to keep it.
Yeah, because people said it looked great.
Which the only reason they said that is because he's like, no, I want to shave it.
I still think I look ridiculous. And I don't feel great playing pickup basketball with a mustache.
Oh, that's great.
Which is really the genesis of this.
You get an extra foul.
I just feel dumb. I feel real dumb with it. Dropping my kid off at school, I feel dumb.
No. It's a good bit.
Should we send him down to, like, the hood or something to walk around? And get him, like, one of those... It looks like... The female body inspector shirt does look like a real FBI shirt.
If your question is, do I want to send my friend and coworker in state police costume into a bad part of town right now looking like that?
The answer better be yes.
Only with Clayton
we gotta
and Henry to record video and audio.
Yeah, but
no,
they have
he looks like people
far
would
enough
hide.
away.
He would hide. Or people would hide. Like he looks like a cop.
I don't know how long I'll keep it, but I will shave it at some point.
Anyways, yeah, OTAs, they got to keep their kickers in there. Do you think
maybe we could Gillette sponsorship? Like they once were going to pay ZZ Top $1 million to shave their beards.
Okay.
Like so, if we can get somebody to pay you $1 million to shave that, will you do it?
What do you think of it? You're a firefighter.
Without a mustache.
My question was, and maybe y'all have covered it before, but what does your wife think about it? Because that's why I don't have one. Mustaches are a big player in the fire service, and my wife would absolutely disown me if I had anything that resembled that.
She just knows our show is stupid, and she just puts up with it.
Okay.
Doesn't care.
Yeah. Now, your wife is obviously more tolerant than mine. Mine would have none of that.
I just feel like...
Why don't you tell her who the man is?
That would make me want to grow it more.
I don't know Blake's wife that well, right? I don't know her that well at all. But I do know that he does often reference that she grew up in Haltom City, and the fact that he is morphing into like an 80s National League coach. Every guy I remember playing softball over at like NEO in like 1991 looked exactly like that. And I bet she loves it, is what I'm saying.
She's kind of into it.
I bet she loves it.
You do look like a softball player.
I am. Checks
Guilty.
out.
Just mash
solid.
time. Anyways, were we talking about something else besides Greg Hardy?
I don't know.
Pac-Man got arrested.
Yeah, there's that.
Disorderly. What about Greg Hardy?
No, we did that one, and we're good there. No, I was just wondering, who else? Is it aren't we due for are Jerry Brown? No, who is it? Josh Brown. Josh Brent. Who lived? Josh Brent?
Mm-hmm. Jerry
Brown.
Colangelo.
Jerry Brown. A man tubing in Palapino. This is at Possum Kingdom. 23-year-old man killed by a boat propeller yesterday.
Ooh.
Dude.
So we did
tubing.
That's rough.
We did the show at PK last year. We've been asked to go back.
I want to go back. I thought.
Do you? It's a long way.
Was it? I saw we have like a 2-hour trip on the.
I saw those boys the other day.
On the schedule. What are we doing?
I got a ranch.
Oh, that's the place where we can blow stuff up with dynamite and talk about Missy Beavers. We got to go to that
Bringing my
one.
guns.
It's the guy who wrote the OJ book.
Yeah, we got to go there.
The security people.
I'm
That's
sorry.
going to be a badass show. Blake's fired up. They were talking about it the other day. Where was that? Was that at the event?
Yeah, he was there.
Is it going to be inside?
We will be inside, yeah.
All right.
You don't have to blow anything up.
I might blow something up.
But I'd like to go.
The guy was tubing.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Which does go back
so
to
the rope was a little too close to the.
Well, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't his boat. It was another vessel. And the operator of that vessel had been drinking.
Mm. Well, he was out on Possum Kingdom Lake. Of course he had been.
And man, I remember, I was pretty old when I found out that it was illegal to drink on a boat, that it was illegal to drive a boat drunk. Just never occurred to me. Well, everyone seems to be doing it.
It does seem like law doesn't exist out there.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's implication all over the
When's the last time you went tubing?
I don't even know if I've ever tubed. I think I might have, but I thought it sucked.
Really?
Because you just lay there I'm a water skier, bro. We're slalom skiing or nothing.
Do you think you'll ever do that again?
Yeah. I got to be invited out on a boat because I'm not going to get my own boat.
No, of course not.
I do not desire that.
What about you?
Yeah, you think I won't tube or water ski anymore?
I think you. I just don't. I've known you for a while now, and I don't know how many occasions are coming up where you're going to be able to go. I can't water ski at all.
You just can't the balance?
I could never either.
I think I've only
can't get
tried
up?
once. Tried one time and just never really. I've never really been around it.
Well, I was as a kid.
You had
we
the
used
one
to do that
dad. Yeah.
Dad had to treat us right every other weekend.
Yeah.
Is this what you mean by 80s NL manager?
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube,
Screen.
we got some great photos back from the event. And there's one photo the guy sent us.
Well, listen, we're not reading our charts. We knew he was off-speed first pitch. We're not reading it. We're not running out our ground balls.
Brett Boone didn't have to talk to you about just watching the game. You're not reading analytics.
And if we could get a goddamn pitcher to throw a first pitch strike, we'd be in much better shape.
I think I'm avoiding the lake on a holiday for the rest of my. I still love tubing, dude. I don't want to give that up. But it feels like it's you're asking for it at this age. Am I too old? Would you do it? How old are you?
45.
Would you go tube at a lake, at a busy lake?
I'm not. I'm kind of with Dan on this one. I'm not a tuber. I think if I was going to do it, I'd be skiing or wakeboarding.
Table.
Wakeboarding is what all the kids are doing these days.
Can't do that either.
Yeah.
Is wakeboarding like?
It's like on a
water
small surfboard, but
Yeah.
you're much closer to the boat. I could see the propeller thing being an issue there if you had some janky setup, but most of the people wakeboarding are in those real high-dollar boats that don't have propellers sticking
Dude,
out.
if you...
I could be
the
surf
prices
guy.
on some of those are
it's
comical.
insane.
Like $200,000.
Yeah.
For what?
Like a wakeboard boat. Just
yeah.
insane.
But if we lived in California, I think I could become surf guy.
You and I's bodies.
You would have
are-
to do it over and over Like, we did it a lot in like an hour, and we got up like once or something.
And it's exhausting too.
It is.
You're got to age out of that at some point because that's just exhausting.
But it's great
there.
exercise.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to go walking.
Yeah, no, he knows.
Get
He's
Stavi
he's
doing
like,
that.
what if I did that plus saved lives?
Yeah.
It's the way of the
You
firefighter.
want the ultimate.
I get my exercise from saving lives. I saw this headline on WFA's website. Made me think Blake needs to see this. The headline simply, what is a PDS severe thunderstorm watch? Breaking down.
I thought of you guys when I saw this
Thank you.
on Twitter. Or whatever it's
what
called.
is a PDS severe thunderstorm watch? Breaking down the rare classification. So we had very big weather this weekend. Blake and I were both talking about. I just have a desire when I see that it's swirling up there. I'm like, I want to see the local weather guys sweat. I want to see all of them battling back and forth. Now, last night, because of the finals and because of something else, I want to say Fox was the only local channel that was on weather at one point.
Hell yeah, they were.
But so this article's up, and it's the lead. A PDS severe thunderstorm watch is in effect across North Texas Sunday night into early Monday morning. A PDS severe thunderstorm watch is a type of alert indicating that the threat of damage from a storm system is unusually high. Again, now you'll notice I haven't told you what PDS stands for yet.
Is the D derecho?
So I just kept going down and kept going down.
So we heard
What
that
does
a lot
this
last
mean?
night.
The term, quote, particularly dangerous situation was first introduced in 1982
We're not
by
doing
forecaster.
We're not doing that.
Like, are you allowed to just take basic speech, put a couple letters on it, and be like, I have an acronym or whatever it's called? No. You can't just walk around saying, hey, look
Was
out.
Dan Henry in?
It's a CBS storm.
It wasn't Dan
I
Henry?
think, and listen, I'm not questioning Dan Henry's commitment. That man's got a family, I'm sure.
I need the big gun in there.
I know.
Yeah.
There's very few PDSs.
I don't know.
I'm guessing Delkus was there, but I don't know.
Well, I didn't stick around after basketball is the thing. Because that's how you know it's like, it's weather, but it's not that bad. It's like,
if
it's
Dan
rerun
Henry's
weather.
not there, you think you're going to be fine.
You're probably going to be fine. And they can run, like, the finals, without going away from it.
I just remember Delkus, or somebody tweeted, I was trying to find the thing yesterday, but it kind of said, there's these severe things, and especially bad, like on the something line, like the squall line. And so then they put a map up. But I didn't know where the squall line, like, I don't know. Am I in the, like, you got to tell us that, too.
I don't know where everybody went to weather school, it seems like, because every time we talk about this, I get 20 people that are like, you are the dumbest person alive. How do you not know about the polar cobblestone vortex undertow of the squall line when it comes in from the east and what that does to the rotation? I'm like, I just missed it, I guess.
And how do they know if they're predicting it's going to come in a couple of hours, quarter-size hail? Like, how do you know? We don't wait? Like, by looking at that thing, that hail will be the size of
why does that bother you?
Various coins.
Models. I don't know.
Ooh, models probably. NAI. There's your news.
You didn't even tell us about Los Angeles.
Yeah, we skipped it.
So everything's fine now?
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in History.
I have a couple of viewer mail birthdays to start on this Monday.
Popeye Jones reached for a kicker, or was
No, he was pretty squared away.
Okay.
Monday, June 9th, I'm celebrating my Clayton Holmes birthday. 6'9" birthday. Nice. Highly doubt I get woken up in that special way, but I'll continue the tradition of asking for my birthday. On my birthday, leaders are Jake and Donovan, proud member of the Blee Hive. More Jake, more Blake, more AI R&B, Team Les Hepala from Eric P. Sarah came out Saturday night, unleashed those puppies, and
got scared off.
She was
by a
dressing for
vibrator.
success.
Sure.
She has to see the vibrator, and when I gave it to her, she was like, "Oh, this is no good." She's a connoisseur.
Later told
apparently.
me she's very well aware of that, and she thought that was a bit too much. Like that vibrator, she's
because apparently it
been
uses
intimately
air
involved. Yeah.
or something, and in
The
her
air
words,
pulse.
it was like she said, "It's like having a fan blow on your clit," and apparently that's bad.
Well, I don't have a clip, but that sounds great.
It was just jarring to hear from.
It is jarring.
A
She
super
sent
smart
me some
person.
Very nice words about our operation, our audience.
Dear Dan, I'd like to give an extra special shout out to my wife, Janelle, on our 18th wedding anniversary. Yes, we got married on 6/9. Yes, the date was chosen because it's funny. And yes, it was actually her idea. My leaders are Blake and Jimmy Nelson. Her leader is Sarah Heppola.
You better have had a little bit of a unique twist on wedding night then. Come on, man.
Like, did they celebrate with that?
Well, I would imagine if they went through all that and the guy's got to be laying there. Like, are we not? Did I miss the? We did all this. Like, come on.
There is an implication.
Sure.
Wouldn't it be a better award if you just didn't do that?
Tell Blake I was
Speak for
captain.
yourself.
Tell Blake I was captain of the Argyle football team in 2002 and see what he says.
What's his name?
God, you want to talk about what used to be a field. There might have been 10 people living there.
Jacob Payton.
That had to be the first year they had a football team.
Yeah, that's what it says. 1-9. 2002 is their first season.
And his wife is Janelle.
The only season without
Pick
Todd
attached.
Rogers.
That pick will go on the wall at some point. We have What Up Dan the Pussy Man. Shout out to my sister Monica. Her birthday is today. 45 Viejita. Love you boys. Great GSE. Ownwell saved me $1,200 on my taxes. Ownwell for life. Eliseo.
Eliseo. And I know that because I was talking to him about the fight he
Yeah.
got in front of Tom Thumb where he broke his hand.
And dear Uncle Womb Wiggler, today my friend Austin and his wife are having their baby.
Baby?
A DumbZone baby born on 6/9. My leaders are Jake's Lake House Picnic Table and Run the Ball Blake. Would like to start a competing beehive for Brandon Aubrey. I will be the guy wearing his jersey when you come up to Denver. My dream is to share a J with Dan.
Dude, how did you even do that?
That's Alan from Colorado Springs.
I feel like you just threw your voice.
That was
Like
wet.
a ventriloquist or something.
That was a real wet one.
That did have a gravy, like, little soppiness to it. Yeah, so what would it be called? We should ask him.
Well, he wants to call it the Beehive.
No, it needs to be something else.
But we have been talking about going to Colorado. We need to do this like at the top of a show or something, but I don't know. Let's say you have a place for lodging for your friends or something. I don't know. Like anybody want to help out your boys? Maybe you got a good place that you'd like us to broadcast, like a public.
Mm-hmm.
We want to definitely go to some kind of a bar or something, but we're going to go there for the Friday before and the Monday after a Cowboy game.
Yes, that is right. We'd like
This fall.
Again, a place to do the show and a place, a place to stay, not your house.
Now, we'll get an Airbnb and
we
pay
will.
for it. And, in fact, if you have an Airbnb and you say, hey, I'd want you guys to pay for it, then we will. We want to support those who support us.
And I don't know much about the geography of Colorado.
But if you also offer it for free, we'd probably say that.
Stay with me.
Give you a shirt.
Dion and the boys out of town. Not sure if you really even care anymore without Travis Hunter and.
Oh, we'll be watching.
Oh, okay.
I was saying we could go.
Yeah.
But they are not in town.
I'm busy that day.
Okay.
Today's Monday, June 9th. These are some on this day now. In 1963, we had the first ever Sunday night baseball game in Major League history.
That's earlier than I would have thought.
Because there was excessive heat in Houston, and they didn't have the dome yet, and so they asked for permission from Major League Baseball, and they granted that. On this day in 1973, it was the first Triple Crown winner in 25 years. Secretariat was the name of a horse.
By the way, that's like the standard prediction I made that's way too far into the future to really press me on it, that people will bring up. You know, because the most recent one is that we're going to be we're doing away with waiting, and people are like, oh, what about horse racing? I feel like horse racing is on the decline pretty significantly. Do you guys not feel that way?
You had it dying between 2030 and 2035.
Now, I realize that's like it's just not really that fun of a prediction because everyone's like, well, I don't know, who cares? That's a long way away. There's nothing funny about that. But I'm
with you that it's had a bigger day.
Among the things that are like coming back culturally and whatever, I don't think horse racing's one of them. I think it's over. I don't think it's got the juice anymore.
And on this day in 1980, Richard Pryor, comedian, was freebasing cocaine, and he burned himself. Almost fatal burns. And then he went on to still do bits and good stuff, right? Didn't he have a comedy show after that?
Oh, yeah.
On this day in 1989, Barry Switzer resigned as head coach of Oklahoma's team due to a recent NCAA probation and criminal conduct of his players.
Dan?
On this day in 2012, what?
Oh, I thought you don't you give the line? Wasn't it the raping?
Oh. I don't remember
what. Is that from I thought that was from an essay, the raping, doping, shooting.
On this day in 2012, Matthew McConaughey got married. He was 42. She was 30. He's still married to her. Spell McConaughey.
Me?
Yeah.
McConaughey.
That's right. Great job. On this day in 2019, David Ortiz, retired, was shot in the back in his native Dominican Republic by a man who police said was a hired gunman, but he was actually trying to get somebody else.
Yeah, who knows, man? That whole story's crazy. I mean, you're in the Dominican, but there was a video of the people just kicking the piss out of the guy that shot him. Turns out shooting David Ortiz in the Dominican Republic in public can get your card pulled pretty quickly. The cops not exactly jumping in.
On this day in 2022, Britney was married. Britney Spears marries fitness trainer Sam Asghari.
Oh, yeah. I forgot she's married.
In Thousand Oaks. Well,
that didn't last long.
She has since separated from him. During this particular wedding, though,
yeah, the guy,
her ex-husband named Jason Alexander, not George from Seinfeld, was arrested for trespassing and stalking after he crashed the wedding.
And he was hammered. That is such a great story. Because it's so right out of a movie that this guy's like, I promise I used to be married to Britney Spears. Like, get him out of here. He's all fat.
Other birthdays today, we have Peja Stojakovic is 48.
Whose son is tearing up the circuit.
Is he?
The circuit?
Like he's a college player, I think. Illinois this year.
Got to have fond memories of Peja.
Oh my. Me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. But
the late season edition that year?
I loved watching, who didn't, the Sacramento teams, you know?
I hated them.
But they had white chocolate.
Bubba Thompson, 28.
What happened? Was he on our show?
No.
Who was on our show?
Bubba Thompson, Rangers first-round pick in 2017.
Walker Steele?
Steel Walker.
Steel Walker.
Yeah.
Josh Cribbs, 42. He likes pot. Teddy Bruschi, 52.
Dude, did you see that clip the other day from Teddy Bruschi? Possibly a fake teeth cautionary tale.
Oh, really?
They're
it went bad?
I don't know. Maybe I have to look at him. No, so I heard Golden Tate being interviewed the other day on Bussin' with the Boys. And do you remember like the famous Seahawks Percy Harvin locker room fight before the game? Dan, do you recall that at all?
Somewhat.
Well, Percy Harvin had not played all year and came back and played in that game and got in a fist fight with a couple guys in the locker room maybe the day before the game. But anyways, it was just one of those deals where Percy Harvin hadn't played all year. Somebody asked Golden Tate, hey, what's it going to be like to have Percy back? And Golden Tate gives he's great, but we got here, we believe in the guys we got. And over the course, that's just some throwaway answer at like media day of the course of answering thousands of questions. And it gets back to Percy Harvin. Next thing they know, they have like a full-on fist fight. It just made me think about how dumb the concept of the media really is. Like that question didn't need to be asked, didn't need to be answered. Next thing
But it was innocuous too. Like, what's it like to have him back?
Percy Harvin's crazy, and
it's great, but
ends up in
just
a
want to
full-on
also
fist
promote
fight.
your other guys. I thought that fight was about because he was real patriotic and he was mad that they burned the flag.
Yep.
Udonis Haslem is 45.
Is he still playing?
Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
20-year career. Averaged 7 points a game, I think.
See those career. I think he's a coach now, right?
Dick Vitale, 86. Gary Thorne, 77. Michael J. Fox is 64.
He's in something now, right? Something new?
I believe he is. Have you seen the bit where I've seen somebody interviewed saying Michael J. Fox basically with meds, the meds these days are great, and he's living with Parkinson's fine, but that he has like an annual benefit.
And I've heard this theory.
And like 2 weeks before the benefit, he
just
stops
raw
taking
dogs
his meds. Yeah. And so when he's up on stage at the benefit, he's all can't talk, and he's
don't do it. Everyone knows. There's no way that's true. Is it?
I want to believe that that's true. That sounds great.
It's so funny too because when I've heard that before in my head, I imagine like they start a couple weeks out, but for the few days before, he's like an animal. Like they have to keep him in a cage because he hasn't had any in a long time, and he's just really spazzing out.
Like if he just walked out there like, hey, yeah, I have Parkinson's, it's terrible. You should donate.
Yeah, it sounds like $5 terrible.
You're fine. It sounds like we're doing well. Why donate more?
Yeah, but cancer though, they call it the silent killer.
Natalie Portman is 44. Aaron Sorkin is 64. I know you hate him.
I really, really do. As a professional.
Johnny Depp is 62.
Legend. That's really hard to wrap your head around.
And then I have two for my birthday of the day. Now, Henry hasn't sent me a Henry birthday of the day, so I don't know if he has one or not. Intern Henry is here, high atop my garage.
Oh, I got something for you.
Okay, our birthday of the day, I had two, which I settled on not. The runner-up is TD Jakes.
Wow. Yeah.
Local legend.
Local legend recently stepped down from his position of leadership after he had a medical episode on stage. That medical episode, curiously, came on the heels of him being implicated in the Diddy speculation and the freak-offs and booty holes and all that. A lot going on over there. Stay woke.
But my birthday of the day, I'm giving it to Mae Whitman. She's 37. She was Anne, or sometimes misidentified as Egg, on Arrested Development. Was Michael Cera's girlfriend. And intern Henry, will bring us his intern Henry birthday of the day.
Okay.
All right. So I really wanted to go with Natalie Portman, but you know, that
And
was.
why is that?
Why?
Well, I mean, Padme, like
What?
from Star Wars. She's Padme from Star Wars.
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about her, but I think she always creeped me out because I think guys older than me seemed really into her when she was young. Am I explaining that properly?
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't.
You're
say
not
that's
one
a
of
bad
those.
thing,
And
no.
you're not. You're a kid. But I just remember, like, I don't. She's 13, 14, 15.
Oh,
It felt
okay.
like-
That's an issue. But
And your uncle's like, hey,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
take a look at
that.
this.
Yeah. It felt weird. So I don't know that I ever really developed a thought of her as an adult. Who's
My
your other
uncle,
one?
my literal uncle, because I'd go over to their house for swimming, my cousin's house, and he would request from my cousin that we invite certain girls over from our class. And to his credit,
That's awesome.
he was picking right. Like, if I wanted a girl to come over, I would have picked Jennifer as well. But it didn't feel right coming from Uncle Dick.
Okay, everybody stay with me here. So Uncle Dick, you've got that scenario, the one that actually happened. Or Uncle Dick is like, have you been in the school for a while. Have you not made friends with any of the special needs girls? If he was cherry picking...
Yeah, you'd rather have what I had.
That's what I'm saying.
For sure. Okay, there's always... Yeah, there could be worse.
He just...
All right, back to Henry's birthday of the day.
Okay. I think.
Did he have a type?
Stop it.
Extremely hot. Blonde.
Okay.
Big boobs.
And young.
Like, yeah. One of those weird...
One of the weird ones.
Yes, and she was, our age. We were like 14.
Ugh, what's the birthday? Christ.
She was really hot, bro. Judge, she looked like 18 for sure. Henry.
All right. We're gonna.
Hey, Henry, let's tighten it up. Let's go, bro.
All right, we're gonna go with just two baseball players real quick that I liked. Joe Kelly, just for his
That's a good
antics,
one.
and Yuli Gurriel, who is racist.
Yeah, he gave the eye signal to you. But didn't he get in a battle with Joe Kelly, though, didn't he?
No, that was
Can
Correa.
you be racist if you're...
Okay, that was Correa. Maybe I'm a racist now. No, but one of the Astros was doing the pull their eyes at you.
Yeah, that was Yuli.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. And then Joe Kelly.
But if you're Hispanic, is that racist?
I don't know.
Feels like I just want to stay out of that one.
Yeah, it's probably a good move.
Born on this day, now dead, Les Paul. He invented the electric guitar. And Patrick Steptoe, he invented in vitro fertilization.
All right. Shout out Carter.
Dead on this day, still dead, we have Charles Dickens.
I would like to know more about that invention, though.
In vitro fertilization?
Yeah. Was he just kind of talking through it at first, like at a bar? Like, what if we put it together on the outside? Rub it together.
And I'll give you Adam West, TV's Batman. He died on this day in 2017.
Was on King of Queens.
And that's today in history.
As Batman?
Yeah, because they make friends with Lou Ferrigno, who's Doug's neighbor. And Spence is going to take Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk to some Comic Con and then runs into Adam West, who is a toll taker, and then is like, well, I have to take Batman over Hulk. And so he invites Adam West, who finds out he ditched Hulk. And then Spence has to go by himself. Great episode.
20 seasons.
I like it. All right, we have closing remarks here with Eric, not Booger, right?
Bogue.
I'll take it.
Bogue?
Local firefighter, hero, and recipient. Now, this is brought to us by fairlease.org, where you can lease your next vehicle. But Community Mechanical is the ones. Now, they lease actually from fairlease.org as well. But they are our HVAC company. And if you buy a new HVAC unit, they will hook you up with a sit-in. I think they hook you up with something if you just get the preventative maintenance, too.
$50 merch.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you also get that? Did you double dip?
No, I didn't double dip. I just got the sit-in. But, no, I don't have a whole lot. Just wanted to say thank you guys for having me out. thanks to Community Mechanical. Those guys are great. If you do have needs, I did a full system replacement. There was never any pressure to do that. They were pretty straight with me about everything. The other guy's name is Drew, by the way. If y'all, I know that Travis gets all the hype, but
they have lots of Drews, though.
Yeah,
they do employ a lot of Drews.
Do they? Okay. I only met the one Drew, and he was fantastic. They both came out to the house for the install. Drew is the engineer behind the thing, so
ask him.
Yeah,
yeah, it's true.
But no, they were great. If you have any needs, I definitely recommend you go see them. Like I said, I don't really have a whole lot. I too share your love of the boys, Dan. So don't let these guys shame you out of the show. It's a great show. It's a very popular fire station show as well.
Oh, do you feel like, have I ever given the impression that I'm letting them stop my momentum on this show?
No. You're true to form with like most things, but it is a fantastic show. Give it a watch if you don't watch it.
What's wrong with these guys? You know,
I don't know. It's
they're obviously
entertaining
now
from start to
they're
finish.
just doing a bit now.
I think you're right. I think they just don't like to have fun.
Yeah.
We hate public servants.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And Jake, I share your affinity for public restrooms.
Nice.
Would like to share that with you.
I felt a kinship.
Yeah, it is. It's my wife gives me hell about it, but there is no public restroom that is safe for me when I'm out and about. So
that's really weird, dude.
It simplifies things.
It really does.
And really think about, like, again, as a firefighter, what a hang up.
But you guys are talking about number 2.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the like.
Well, I think going back to the fire thing, like you're kind of condition your body when you're at the station. When you need to go, you go because you may leave and not be back for a while. So you take advantage of the opportunity of having a restroom handy. Same thing when you're out and about. Like when you got to go ahead and knock it out.
I got a fireman question.
Okay.
Because I'm at the DZ GSE the other night, and I'm preventative maintenance for my old body as well. So I'm like bringing the
electrolyte packets.
Yeah, the electrolyte packets, pouring them in water. I'm trying to make sure I guzzle as much of that as possible. Do you guys have to worry about staying hydrated and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's one of the things they really push is, summer's here, stay hydrated, stay ready to go.
But, I mean, if you're in a blaze, have you ever been in a huge fire? Like
putting
out
happens.
A big fire?
I work in a suburb, so
what's the biggest fire you ever had to put out?
Like size of the structure or number of people that came to the event? Because we've had apartment fires that are...
Yeah, that would change it a little bit.
Or multiple alarm fires where you have a lot of people there and there's, a lot of area to cover. But
so 4-alarm fire means what?
It's a little different for every department, but basically it just means if a first alarm gets 3 engines, a truck, a battalion, and a medic, you basically double that for a second alarm.
Which means you call, like, the town over?
No, well, it depends on the city.
Or if you might have two
Most decent-sized suburbs have enough to handle, say, a first alarm fire by themselves. When you start getting into second and third alarms, you start to have to pull from neighboring cities to have the staffing there.
But, yeah, the hydration thing is the reason why those are the guys that do those mobile IV services. That's
who does?
The firefighters. When I told you I've had that done before, it was firefighters who will come to your house because they're already doing it all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of us are paramedics, so we already have the IV skills in hand, and we also
probably lose you could probably lose 10 pounds in a run or
absolutely.
something. Yeah,
really,
absolutely, yeah.
It's just water weight. Your body has a lot of water weight.
Yeah,
just sitting there, and that's one you hear about, like NASCAR drivers and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it must be tough to undo all the equipment to go potty, or do you just kind of go?
That real question?
No, that's a legit question. Yeah, no, I would be less than honest if I didn't say that there are times where you'll be in I don't want to say an actual structure fire, but an incident in a house where it hits and you go to a bathroom and there's already a firefighter in the bathroom in that particular house.
Did you ever just go in your uniform?
No, I've never had it hit that hard. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened to other people, but no.
Dude, that'd be so tough.
Yeah.
Especially if it was the bad one.
Yeah.
Because, if you got to try to clean it, but everybody's going to know you're taking it home, that's not good.
We have these industrial washing machines at the fire stations called extractors. So that's specifically for your gear, so you're not intermixing your gear with your personal clothing and stuff. But yeah, I think your coworkers would frown upon mixing your soiled gear with their regular laundry.
So you're 45.
Uh-huh.
Did you get into being a firefighter because of 9/11?
I was actually in the fire academy when 9/11 happened. I remember clear as day, just being in class, and an instructor walked in that morning after it happened and just said a lot of firefighters died today. We don't know how many, but now's the time to reflect on if this is something you really want to do.
Open jobs that you might have now?
No, that wasn't
the big
my
city.
Yeah, that wasn't my first thought, but no, it's so yeah, I was in fire academy when that happened, but
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty big. I came in at a time, talk about like stolen valor. Like I was in the academy, hadn't even started out on shift. So by the time I come out on shift, 9/11's already happened, and of course the fire
People
service.
thanking you
Oh
left
my
and
gosh!
right.
Yeah, you're a celebrity. You're a
week
celebrity.
one.
You walk through the grocery store. You're driving around. People are honking, waving, and like you have done nothing. Like nothing to earn any
I'm sure
of it.
everybody else in the station was cool about it, though.
Oh yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
like, thank you so much. You've done nothing.
What was your last call?
Last call? Let's see. My last call was picking an elderly person up off the floor. That's the Jake and I were talking about that off the radio or off the air, but that's the vast majority of what we do. It doesn't make an interesting show on TV or whatever, but picking elderly people up, run-of-the-mill medical calls, it's not all the fires and exciting stuff you see on TV. For
Bodies
sure.
frozen from cryo.
Yeah, definitely. No, not a lot of that.
So how do we know this old lady's on the floor? Or is it a guy? Like how does
dealer's
that get...
choice? It's all of them. Everybody falls down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you're just laying on the floor, but they got a phone?
It's important.
Yeah, sometimes
Life alert?
they have the life alert. We get the alerts from the little Apple watches from time to time, where it alerts that somebody fell down, and they let us know that way. It comes in all different ways.
Are you beaten when you see that's the call?
I don't know about
and you're
beaten.
leaving?
Yeah, I don't know about beaten, but I would say there's not quite the hype for that as there would be like a structure fire and an extrication or something cool. That's for sure.
Having to pause Call of Duty to
go
pick a lady up out of the bathtub.
Do you run into firefighter groupies? Like I would think there's ladies that are really just into firefighters.
I mean, yeah, they're definitely out there. It's surprisingly, it's the older women that have more of a thing for the guy in uniform. It's not the 20-somethings that most people would be interested in. It's the women, probably the divorcee, that kind of one. Those are the ones that have probably the bigger groupies of all, I would imagine.
How about the wannabe guys?
There's definitely those. Yeah, for sure.
There's probably a couple different types, right? I don't know, because Jimmy always references, I don't know if these are wannabe firefighters, but the maybe those on the spectrum that will just sit outside the station and just take pictures or video of trucks.
I would say, yeah, there is a huge element of that out there. There's people that scan the radios that meet you out on calls to either just observe and take pictures or try to be quote-unquote helpful. Not too long ago, there's a guy that's very well known to our department that we pulled up on a wreck that we were dispatched to, and he had his e-bike sitting out blocking a lane of traffic on a fairly large road with his safety vest on, trying to guide traffic around, and all we could think about is this guy is going to get smoked. People don't pay attention to fire trucks, let alone a little e-bike with a little flashing light on it, but I think he's somewhere on the spectrum, so it's hard to be too critical of him, but yeah, that's definitely out there for sure.
You don't think about that radio and just all the people who have nothing but time and they think they're Nightcrawler or something following around police or fire. That's
as a matter of fact, we kind of got griped at not too long ago by some guy that we're talking about that was mad that a lot of the new radio signals, especially in the suburbs, are encrypted, I guess, and so they can't scan it the way that you used to be able to traditionally scan the radio, and he was just really mad and actually felt like it was a violation of his rights that he couldn't listen to the radio traffic, and we're trying to assure them it's not we're doing anything cloak and dagger. This is just technology has moved on and whatever. But yeah, there's definitely a whole subculture that's into that thing. That was never me. I was never one that grew up wanting to be a firefighter.
Why did you end up?
I was at North Texas and in college and doing business school and was like, this is not for me. I can't imagine sitting in a cubicle the rest of my life. And I had a roommate that wanted to be a firefighter, and so I just looked into it and was like,
all right,
hey, man, that sounds good. Let's do it.
Cool.
And then you had to learn some kind of medical stuff, right, to become a paramedic.
Yeah, most departments require you to become a medic or be a medic before you get hired. Again, that's probably 75% of what we do. So,
I mean, you had to go back to school for that?
Yeah. They sent me to the fire academy, sent me to paramedic school. Yeah, they require all that stuff to get you trained up. But yeah.
But you don't have to be that going in. That's interesting.
It's different with every city. Some cities require it before you are eligible to test, and then other cities they'll send you. You don't have to have any requirements other than college or something else, and then they send you to school afterwards.
So you're in a suburb.
Mm-hmm.
And if you meet like Jimmy or a Dallas firefighter, do they think you're a pussy?
Yeah, well, I would be less than honest if I didn't think that. For sure, they got to think. They got to think you guys aren't real firefighters. You're in the suburbs. You're not doing it like we do. But we get a lot of guys that are Dallas firemen or former Dallas firemen that are tired of the Dallas stuff, and so they want to come to the suburb for a little bit of change of pace.
Get away from the woke fire.
Yeah.
But you got to start where you are. So.
Yeah, for sure. There's not a lot of movement in the fire service. Once you get hired on in a city, most of the time you stay there your whole career. There's not a lot of jumping around and stuff, but there are people that do it. But yeah, I did my paramedic ride-outs in Dallas, and man, bless those guys. I don't know how they do it day in and day out, because that's a whole nother world working for a big giant city like that, and the types of calls you're going on, and no rest ever.
How many lady firemen are there at your place?
I'm gonna get in trouble for thinking. I think we're up to 4 now, out of 200.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, it's there's not a lot. Dallas obviously has a lot more, but they have a lot more people too. So, they're out there, just not in numbers.
Okay,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
he has a lot fewer jokes than the other firefighters.
I don't know. He's got it going on. I just want to say that I think you're a hero. These guys would say cops are better, and firemen.
Y'all just block the traffic.
I run with the red or something. Do they have a thing?
Yeah, they don't have a back. We got to back the blue. We got nothing for firemen.
Well, it's funny, Blake just saying they just block traffic. That's my wife's thing. She's like, every time she drives by a wreck, she sees a fire truck that's got, everything blocked down to one lane, and just firemen leaning on shovels or brooms as they drive by, and she just gets so pissed off. I'm like, trust me, we're not out there because we want to be,
What do you drive out if there's the old lady's just laying on the floor and I'm just picking up an old lady? The ambulance or?
Yeah, you still get you get an engine and an ambulance.
An engine too?
Yeah.
That feels like a tremendous waste of money.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's an obesity epidemic that's out there in society, and
the mega mover.
Yeah, there's quite a few of the people that fall down. It's going to take more than 1 or 2 to get them up, for sure. So
I still don't understand why you need a whole giant fire truck.
Well, because that's what we're in. And
do you put a rope around them and pull it, put it in reverse?
No, it's more a manpower thing. So
okay.
You have 2 people on an ambulance in most cases.
And you might need more than 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
oh,
more often than not. Yes, you need more than 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would probably...
I have to get a different image. I had a frail old lady had fallen.
Yeah.
Okay, that does happen. Yeah,
but you're saying more often it would be a... just a bigger individual.
A very large individual.
Yes. I think it would probably, he references the epidemic, I think it would probably stun you, the percentage of work that is done to just move big people every day.
It is shocking. It is shocking the amount of effort.
To just move them around.
As a matter of fact, I think there's probably more injuries to firefighters on picking up large people than there are on actual fires, wrecks, or things like that.
Wow.
Yes, it is... It's
This has been very educational.
Well, thank you.
It
I'm
really
glad I
has.
could provide that for
Well,
you
my
guys.
wife's biggest complaint when she was still in the adult world was just having to roll with someone who weighed 400 pounds, and she's $120.
As a nurse?
Yeah.
I got super excited for a second when Blake said his wife was in the adult world.
I did. Yeah, she's in children's now.
Ugh.
Yeah, and you also have to consider, too, that a lot of these people that have fallen down, we don't know how long they've been down, but chances are if they've been down for any length of time, they were probably they were probably on their way to the bathroom when they fell and obviously couldn't hold it. So you get that bit of fun, too, rolling them over and finding all sorts of stuff.
That's a great way to end the show.
All right, thanks.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
Well, I love you, Dumb Zone, for all you give to me. Sports and comedy. It's a win, you see. Win, you see. 4 episodes a week. Let's get our boys out of poverty. So go and grab your buddies. It's time to get more subbies. Now come into a sock. Blake's talking Argyle, that's for sure a lock. Arrowhead water, always kept in stock. Saving all his earnings, hoping Lindsey Sterling gives him a heart to Jake has got a story. Maybe it's a camp spin. It's the only news you need. Yeah, he's got a cat now. It cost more than my car. Wow, he's the champion of sobriety now. Dan's mic keeps moving, think he has a cough. Now his wife's at book club, so tonight it's jackets off. Gets an order in at Eatsy's from the salmon trough. Put it on a burger or a nice pilaf.